Hey, hey.
No wonder that was computer playing there.
So what? There was a computer playing that entire time.
No, for a little bit because it started bagging. And
Oh.
this guy was this guy wasn't bagging it. Wow.
Yeah.
But if you go somewhere, the computer play it for a while for you.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you're AFK, like off the keyboard or whatever, then you can.
Let's say mom calls me, I can let
Yeah.
the computer run, but if you let it run for so
Yeah,
long.
then let it, yeah, because then when you're, I mean, in PC gaming, it's called being off the keyboard or AFK, but that basically is the same thing. When you're just away from the game and
Right, yeah.
you're just gonna be back.
I like the computer play. This is cool. Sometimes the computer's better than
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, because the computer just goes based off, it's off, just the choices and the options it has in the best case for that game, while you have to figure that out.
But I was losing, so basically, once you bow out, I still get my points.
Yep. Bang a bang. Because it still counts to your account. So you can still do it.
You I was traveling them. They quit on the game. So if you got points, you got points.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like instead of quitting the game, just let it run on autopilot, and maybe the AI will be, or the computer will be just better than you.
I don't know.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it will be.
I don't know why they bow out. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I should turn around and see what's going on over here. I found a dealer who's probably going to sell me a Gravera 1888. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Nice. I've always wanted a Gravera 1888. I know the Cabela's near my brother's house, they have them. They have like a whole gun rack full of them. And they're like $150, I think. But, yeah. Welcome to absurdity. I'm just wearing a Hawaiian shirt that has beer on it. Because I'm the Great Orange Hope now, everybody. I am the Great Orange Hope. There you go. There you go, everybody. I'm the Great Orange Hope. Believe me, tremendous. I'm not gonna be able to stay out here too long looking like this, though.
Let's not freeze to death and get hypothermia.
Is it still snowing outside?
Barely. I also was surprised it snowed at all. It didn't. Like last night, it started to. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom really bad. I'm right next to the kitchen door, and I was like waiting for food to cook, and I was like doing it in a strategic way so the thing doesn't go off when I walk off. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run out over here really quick, and then I ran outside, went into a bush, just right around the corner there, and then I just looked up and I'm like, oh shit, it's snowing. It wasn't sticking yet, but I was like, oh wow, they weren't lying. There actually was snow, because I was like, not gonna happen. I just totally dismissed it because I'm like, it's going to be too moist in the air for the snow to stick on a dry surface, which ended up being mostly true. I mean, there's not a lot of snow sticking that much on the ground like last time.
Right, yeah, no,
This is, yeah, because of all the rain that happened before, it just was too moist for it to stick as well. Still did a little bit, but that was just because it was kind of off and on all day.
But I should be, I'm going to be over here now. Oh shit, Jimmy showed up. Joe's got pissed at me a few streams ago. Oh damn, son. What'd you do? It's a commission DWM 1888, $100. Nice. Ship scoop roll. No, let's not do that. Let's avoid that entirely. I don't want to like have the guilt by association with that. But on top of that, that's just probably not a good idea. Plus, I don't know how well you can do that with a bolt-action rifle. But I'm not saying you. Let's just stop. I'm gonna discontinue this discussion. Why would you say that? Because it pretty much is commonplace now in this country. So it's just at this point, it's like, who's gonna be next? Let's take the gamble. Who's next? Like, we can all think of people in our lives, but, well, you never know. I'm not saying anyone here would, but really, honestly, you never know. It's a gamble who could it be this time and where it is. Shit, it could be my school next, for all I know. Actually, there was a shooting near my schools. The Clackamas Town Mall shooting that was like in 2012 or something. Yeah. I actually was considering going to the mall that day, and I almost went because I was going to meet up with a friend. But as soon as we were on the bus, we started hearing some shit on the news, and then everyone else started talking about it. And I was just like, "Oh, I should text my friend and make sure that he's all right." And he's like, "What? I never heard anything about that. I wasn't even thinking about. I was really planning on going over there today, really. But I was just like, oh, well, I was thinking of meeting up over there, but shit, now this happened, so we canceled that idea." But it was just like, oh damn, and that was a big thing. Anyone has ability to crack? Well, yeah. In the prep area was showing it to us. I mean, that's not smart, but I mean, as long as it's like, I don't really have a problem as long as there's no ammunition. Like, if you're just showing the firearm and nothing else, literally nothing else, just the piece itself, I don't really got that big of an issue over that, but you probably shouldn't be showing it at your work, or, that's not the smartest idea. It's better to wait until you go home. Nuck figures. Well, yeah. We'll just go with that. Because absurdism. I honestly didn't really have a plan or agenda for this. I was just like, let's just start off by looking absurd a little bit. So I did. But eventually I'm going to put on a few more layers because this tiny flimsy, like barely a cloth, barely a shirt cloth, like I'm gonna need to, switch over to that eventually. But right now I'm all right. So I actually have some eggs I'm gonna dink up on real quick. So I'm standing this time instead of sitting because this at least keeps a little extra blood pump while I'm looking like this. Plus I can move around and shit. Shouldn't the sous chef be worried about the food he was making? If it's a slow day, I mean, what else are you gonna do? How's my day? Like, I wouldn't say it was, like, good, but I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just kind of like, meh. It's just like another day. It's just kind of how, that's how today feels. It's just like, meh. The passage of time has now continued. And will continue. Okay. It's kind of how today was for me. I'm just like, meh. This is like 3 p.m. when there was no customers. Yeah. Like, that's when I just would say, just, like, probably not the best environment to show it off, but whatever. I want to say that's utterly irresponsible as long as there wasn't anything in the chamber and it was unsafe and was essentially disarmed for the most part, That explains why everything's burned when you get the food at your place, Carl. Damn. Roast. Roasted like these epic eggs, dude. I found some organic eggs that were on sale for like half off, and I was like, hells yeah. I'll like murk up on that shit. Now, if I could pick it up with my fork, that'll be appreciated. There we go.
Thank you.
Mmm. Good doing nothing o'clock. Nice, dude. I get that every now and then. Usually on Sundays or Saturdays. I notice actually some Saturdays are a little slower than Sundays for me. Like, I guess people just like are too lazy to make their own food on Sundays, so they're like, I'll go grab like some Chinese food or something. So that's what they do.
Good job, partner.
On Sunday, for the most part, I'm selling more like China food than like fried food and shit, like from our normal little area. But then on like Saturdays, I'm getting more like fried food shit and salads and meats than anything else.
Your mom went to bed when you came in there.
Huh?
Was she still at her desk? Or?
She was at her desk when I first came home, and then she went back to her room, and
She's
And
in the room now.
yeah, she didn't say anything or anything.
Okay.
So also would have been there, been like, hey, what's up? She asked if I dealt with my bank thing, but like, I was already going down there anyway.
Right, yeah. No, let me deal with it. Know what's going on.
Yeah. Like,
Did you like a child?
you know, like, it's just, like, she, like, assumed that I was, like, spending my money on shit, and I haven't even touched my debit card in, like, a few weeks, honestly. Like, I haven't even, like, and I haven't even been on, like, eBay or anything. The only thing I'm
What
spending
was
what I found out is it was the Ancestry. It was the Ancestry thing. So,
They charge you $90.
it's, like, every 6 months is when they do it, though.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's like they have like multiple weird different little payment plans you can do, and for
Mhm.
some reason that got set up that way. So I'm just like,
So that's kind of.
I mean, it's not like
It's not for the DNA. It's basically for the ancestry. It actually is.
so you can have what it is there's like the free version where it just basically shows you your origins, and it doesn't really show you too much, but if you do like the
Right, it gets deep in there. I know.
yeah, there's two different ones I see. There's one that like will let you actually look at records about your tree and stuff, and then go into that, and then also like be able to look more into the records of other
And to
trees that
see
are
if somebody's actually
connected to you and
connected
stuff.
to you.
Yeah.
Actually, they posted.
Yeah, like
everything
with
else,
the free version, you just are able to like find your tree and
So
stuff.
that's not good.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
honestly not really bad. I mean, a lot
Uh-uh.
of the reason why it's so expensive is just because the science of and the equipment they need to do so, to do that, to get the DNA and then, open up that genome and then, expand on your genome and find out where that, where it eventually leads down towards.
Right, yeah.
So a lot of it's just due to due to just the equipment and science and tech that they use, but it's not a big deal because I mean, there's been a few more things about the tree on my mom's side I've been learning about, which has been really cool. What I really really want to know is my dad's side, because that one's a little ambiguous, but my sister's mom has been doing a lot of research into it and has like expanded that tree, and I actually found that and found my sister's ancestry tree, so I'm gonna get that connected.
Right, yeah.
So then I can find out more about my dad's side, because that side, from what I've heard, is wild. From what I've heard, at least on my like biological dad's like parents' side. I don't know much about their parents beyond that, but I know about my dad's parents a little bit. Apparently, the mother was like extremely like paranoid and like radically anti-gov to the point where she was like wanting to do like hit jobs on government officials and shit. It was just like she actually tried to do assassinations. It was like, oh my god.
Damn.
Well, she didn't directly, but she tried to hire people to do it, and it's just like, oh my god, damn, psycho bitch. It's like, damn, wow, I didn't know that ran in the family, but.
Right, yeah.
Apparently, I don't know much about the father's side. I just know more about the mother's side, because she is just, she was the one that just seemed like had a lot of creative, off-the-wall things going on about her life there. I don't know much detail beyond just a few vague things about it, because it's been a while since last talked about it with my sister's side of the family, but I'll have to delve more into it though, because that is just like if that's all true, that is some crazy shit. Like that is like
my wife Ruby, the one that passed away, man. She was into that shit. She didn't join Ancestry.com. She actually went to all the libraries. Actually, that had old records in there.
Just she actually went like hands on herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did use Ancestry though.
Yeah, because Ancestry is relatively new as far as I know. Like what, last like 5-6 years or something. So I mean, it's relatively.
It's been around a while.
Yeah.
It was around when she was alive.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true. So it's probably been around. I've only known that for at least like 6 or some years, but I'm sure it's been going on for a while. And there's also 23andMe and a few others too. I think 23andMe is where you can actually like look at your genome and see what traits you got and what traits that could potentially be like health risks in your future and stuff. That's the one I want to do eventually. Boom. What's an alt-right academy? What? Oh. Okay.
Yes, man.
A friend of mine bought a bunch of ketamine off Silk Road Internet, had it shipped
And
out
then
to the
she
band
got
house in
out.
the country, and picked up the package. Nice. Damn.
That was a chicken shit.
Damn. We need to have a debate that isn't
Yeah.
on the Green New Deal, which isn't new. I mean, the Green New Deal is technically new, but it's just. But the concept of what it is isn't. Because, I mean, it's based off the concept of the New Deal. So, I guess technically in that sense it's not. But ketamine. That's like the one thing I actually really am kind of oblivious to. I'm like, I don't know much about ketamine at all. Like, what does it do? Like, like, is it like a depressant, a stimulant? Which will kill millions? What? Why do I feel like that's bait? What's up, MC? What it do?
So we're talking about a while ago, basically people basically quit the game.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's Neil. He quit.
Dude, like, are people on like a rage quit mood today or something?
Because it's minus 100 points, but still battle back. Yeah, keep your points.
Yeah.
It's minus 3 points if you quit the game.
Yeah, so you're just forfeiting like 3 points by definition, plus what you're gonna lose anyway.
So I'm just 87 right now. So if I quit a game, then it'd be what?
84.
84. Yeah. So
So that drops you down hella. It's like, what the hell? I'm just having a rock cocaine crack flashback. What? I don't know. How do you argue against that? Equals kills millions. I'd actually be more curious on how it will. Because, what? Prevent the worst effects of climate change? Yeah. Ketamine is a depressant, disoactive anesthetic. Makes you feel like you're having an out-of-body experience. I love it. Oh, interesting. Well, I've always talked about how I've always wanted that, so, might be something I'm curious about then. I'd probably want to know a little more about, though, but interesting enough. I think ketamine is in Star Trek, actually, and, I think they use it as, like, a substance for, like, the Jem'Hadar or some shit, or it's, like, some other name, I think, or very similar to, like, the name ketamine. It's, like, I forgot the exact name, but I think it might be that, I don't know, or it's called, Man, am I actually honestly really, like, thinking about this right now? I'm a fucking Trekkie nerd. How am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about this? This is bad. I need to like brush up on my DS9 and shit. Fuck. It's not good. Is this a veterinary tranquilizer? Oh. That's probably why. Ketamine's a nifty drug. Sounds like it. Interesting. It antagonizes the NMDA receptor, which causes you to lose your sense of ego and self. Well, I don't really have much of an ego in the first place, so I guess that'll work out. Check rules. You're damn right, son. You're damn right. I like how they actually did, man. Finally, the only emoji I honestly do like is the live long and prosper emoji, and the fuck you emoji. Those are like the only two emojis I genuinely like, because it's just like live long and prosper and fuck you. I mean, you can't go wrong with those. The rest of them are just like, but those ones, I like those. Oh, and this one too, because, okay. If you like don't let Zeus, you're just matter in the universe. Well, I already think that, so maybe I'm already just having a perpetual ketamine experience right now. I'm just in a perpetual ketamine high, because you're describing basically what I already feel. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, at the end of it, I am matter in this universe. That's it. So, oops. I just like banged up on this. I was trying hard to remember when I was 0 second. Why it's important to have an out-of-body experience. I think it's just curiosity, intellectual curiosity. Like I genuinely am curious about what a out-of-body psychedelic experience is, which is why I want it. I'm genuinely curious on an intellectual level of like, what is about this, like I do. It's not just like I want to get high, bro. It's just like I actually am like curious about these type of things, and that's why I want to try them. Type it in chat, Vulcan. Sweet. ketamine or salvia. If I had to choose between the two, I mean, I haven't had both, but like if I were to have one be like my first, if like probably I don't know, salvia maybe, because that was something I've been wanting to experience sooner than ketamine, so probably that. It's best when you inject it. You do just enough without losing consciousness. Oh man, injecting it? Oh. I have to inject it? Is there other ways to do it?
Salvia?
No, ketamine.
Ketamine, no, no. That shit ain't shooting up my vein.
Yeah, there's no that's a no-no. That's why heroin is not up my alley, because it's like, no, I'm not doing that. I can't. There's no way I'm just gonna be able to just like inject. Like, unless it's like a vaccine, like I'm totally gonna be like, give me that vaccine, you know, because I like vaccines. But like that is, it's just like, it's precedent. Far more peaceful and calming than classic turn psychedelics. Not missing out. Anything feels like you're just there for 50 million years. Damn. Try salvia on stream. I mean, if that were to happen, I'd probably in here with Robert said you'd probably see two people high off their ass on salvia for a moment. So if I were to, it'd probably be that case, because I know he wants to too. Suzuki snorting the vaccine juice to get high. No! No! Snorting is like this, just right, like actually above that. Like, I'd be more likely to take an injection needle into me and inject something than snort it. Like, I actually would prefer injecting than snorting if I had to pick between the two. Because just this, ugh. At least I can, you know, not think about this part. Just be like, get it in there, see where I need to go. Don't look.
Put up your nose, dang.
God, you know,
It burns.
I just, like, anything up my nose. Like, even the doing, you know, whenever I got shit, you know, stuck in my nose or whatever, like mucus buildup or whatever, and I have to, like, you know, do that. That even kind of, like, ugh. Even that kind of gives me a little jeebie-jeebie. It's just...
No, let me smoke it.
I'd rather smoke or ingest or, like, rub on my body or something. And maybe if someone else doing it, maybe the eject thing, but that's depending on what that substance is. Like, I'm kidding me, I guess, maybe. Seems interesting to try, so I'm intellectually curious. Most people snort ketamine or smoke it. Well, all right, so I can smoke it. Okay, cool. All right, then I'm good. Then I can be able to do it without having to worry about it. Probably won't be the best way to do it, but whatever. It's how you're gonna get it in me. Super paranoid high. It's the delirium. I see that, and you know what? I think it's because people don't understand that that's probably what's going to happen during that high, so they're not prepared for it. So then they freak the hell out and get a bad trip. I don't instantly get super scared or freaked out when I'm paranoid. I kind of get more observant and aware. I'm like, all right, well, what's going on right now? And be like, all right, seems fine right now. All right, let's chill for a bit. You know, if it's still there, I'm just, you know, just end up keeping me on a more heightened awareness. So I think I'd be able to chill with, well, not chill, you know, but like be able to, I don't know, hold my own. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I wouldn't really know until I did. But I mean, given what it can do, I could probably hold myself in enough. When you buy ketamine, it comes in a pharmaceutical vial, so you stick ivermectin needle into, so it's already sterile. So puts you in the K-hole. Damn. Puts you in the K-hole. Damn.
The first time I smoked salvia, I didn't read the package. Said you need to be laying down, so I went outside thinking just about marijuana and
just chilling out there.
Chilling out and covered with pokes and.
See, yeah, that's
the house starts waving.
Yeah, I think that's why at first people freak out and get scared is because they don't read, or you know, if there's something on the package that will inform you on it, or just are knowledgeable on it. Back then, it makes sense because you didn't have the internet to go look up what it did. But I mean, nowadays that isn't really too much of an excuse for people. So when people just
package, though.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is because, you know, these drug dealers are trying to
have them sold again. So they're gonna, want to inform you how they work and shit. So
it was fun though. Basically, all of a sudden you're smoking, the house starts waving up and down, and okay, so you crawl into the house because the earth is kind of like this.
Oh my lord.
Man, I love man. That's my first time, but the last time, man, I was giggling my ass off.
Yeah. See, because I think the last time you were, I think because last time you kind of knew what it was going to do, so you're just like, all right, well, I know what's going to happen, so it should be all right. Let's just enjoy the ride, and when you know, you did, and laughed your ass off.
Yeah, and I want to do the higher quality. I like the middle.
Yeah.
It makes you giggle, but the higher quality of this Savium actually makes you have out-of-body experience.
Yeah. That's kind of something I've been like wanting to feel and shit.
This guy, it's basically his whore eyes with.
Yeah.
Had money I could screw her, and so but she filled the bathroom tub full. Remember the top floor and flooded the owners.
Oh my God.
He came out and said, "Y'all need a room." No, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Oh my God.
He came in for me to sign the deal. All of a sudden, I can remember me walking up there, but the other was still sitting down.
Damn.
So, okay, let me just say this. Okay. Man, she's a bitch. I'll send her to jail.
Damn. Brutal.
Still $300 for me.
Well, yep, that's enough of a reason if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, so it was actually on the ATM machine when she stole it at the exact same time that she stole it. So I had records of her.
Yeah, you even had a record of it too. Ooh, that's even better when you got the record and you got the proof and you're like, "Ha, got you now, bitch." You can't squeeze yourself out of this one.
And her vagina was basically you could grab a truck through it.
Oh my God. That tells you how active she was. Oh man.
I went with a black chick, and she was tight. I don't know. And then she found me in the middle of the street right before I went here up in Oregon. She says, "I want you to come to my place," and I forgot her address and everything in my memory, and so I didn't go over there, and then got messing with the mirror again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I should fuck this shit. Then I stepped up $300, and well, I'll be back. I'll be back in a week or two. You sure? Yeah, okay. No,
okay, and it never comes back.
I ain't coming back there. And Mom had said, "No, you can't stay here." Then actually, I'm taking the stuff to Detroit, and then I'm actually going to probably Nebraska and see my friend in Nebraska and everything else. I have plans what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But I wanted to stay here. So Mom says, "Yeah, come back and stay a couple months." She all right. Shit, I mean, if I wanted to leave, she'd kill me.
Yeah, at this point, she's just like, "Don't leave. Don't leave. You're the only one that actually gives a shit."
Yeah, it's a real family, friend. Real deal. I just wish she was better shit than she was.
Yeah. There's really nothing much we can, do besides try to keep her diet relatively on a decent, good basis. But that part, it's just that one's just about because, sometimes trying to offer other opinions of food options, she always tries to, like, guilt trip me, at least, about it. It's just like, "Oh my God, Mom." It's like, I've had fruit, and I've had my salad, and I want toast. It's like, but the carbs is what builds up and gets stored in if you don't use them, and because you don't move around as much due to your health conditions, they're just going to get stored up. So that's kind of the one thing you need to avoid a little bit. And it's just like, oh my goodness. I mean, at one point I bought asparagus for her. Did she ever eat that?
Yeah, what the stuff is in there? How do you fix it?
I don't know. I would assume, just get like a little bit, like I think a healthy alternative to butter would be like olive oil, put it in a little pan, and she likes it with salt, just slightly salted, pan fried asparagus. Because I know she loved it when she had it on this dinner dish in Iceland. So I'm thinking, she loves asparagus anyway. So I mean,
right? Yeah.
I mean, I bought a thing of it for her. I don't know.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if it's still good or not, if it's in there still, but...
What's that long kind of shit?
Well, there's celery, which I've used up now for the most part, but then there's asparagus that I've had in there for a while, but I don't know if it's in there anymore. But it was in there. I bought that a while ago at Nest Point, so it's probably no good if it is in there, but... Asian cultures are merely reverse engineering Western technology. That's the case for most of the automotive sector. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Like, I mean, when you look at a lot of their advancements, a lot of them are essentially things the West has done, but better. I mean, there's I think there's a good chunk of examples we can make. I mean, video game industry, the computer industry, the telecom industry. I think there's a lot of different things that they kind of did a little better. I'll give them that. It's just like, damn, respect for that. Now it's cool. Let's make this more cooperative. Let's get everybody on board with this. Let's do what they're doing, because that's awesome. Technological advancements is, and just like that type of progress is always cool to me. But of course, unfortunately, at least for China especially, it's a little shitty with their government. A little authoritarian, a little Orwellian with how they literally spy on everybody there. Way worse than here, though. Not much difference, I would think. I mean, the worstness is like, here's us. They're like right here. Like on here, this is like going lower is worse. They're like right here. So, I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but, whatever. SP railroads. Yeah, that's another thing they did really good on. Yeah. And we can barely get one passed in California. And even then, it's going through like a rural area where the majority of people opposed to it were there, and they're building it pretty much to the people that don't want it. It's like, really? America's too simple to build high-speed rail. Sad but true. Sad but true, dude. Because you think, like, China's been doing that for how long now? Like, what, 15 years at least? 20 years, maybe? And we could barely get, like, one project started in Cali, let alone the whole country. And we're going to make the argument our infrastructure is great. I mean, Europe has high-speed rail. And they're a lot more condensed and a lot more... And there's people, like, literally everywhere, of course the country is different, whatever, depending on the population reference, but they have high-speed rail there. China does. Hell, I think Japan does, too. And they're a tiny little island state cram-packed full of people. We're going to make the argument that we can't do it? Absurd. It's so absurd that we have to absurdly be absurd about it. Because absurdism. It's a dud and such a spoondoggle. What? Speaking of railroad, what do you think of proposed I-5 expansion in Portland? They're doing an I-5 expansion? I mean, that idea I'm not against, because I-5, especially in downtown Portland, going through that area, or at least cutting through Portland, is absolutely fucking atrocious. So I would, I like the idea of an expansion, but I want to know more about what they're going to do before I'm like on board with it. So, I mean, if it's just like, we're going to funnel a lot of money and hope it does something, then I'm just like, this isn't doing anything. But if they actually have like a full-fledged, like, we're going to make, parts of I-5, two-story leveled highway, freeway areas. We're going to have, a big infrastructure contract. We're going to get the public sector involved in this and get, projects involved. Like, if they get like super deep in it, then I'm going to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. But, not against the idea. It's extremely expensive in the U.S. because large distance between cities is a very different geography. So, look at China. China, I'd probably say, is somewhat similar in like hugeness and vastness, and plus there's a lot more mountainous regions there. They still do it. They can still afford it. To me, that's not really a big deal to me. If expansion is add a lane between the Araquam and Fremont Bridge, cap some of it to reunite neighborhoods. That's about it. Yeah, that's an expansion, but I mean, that's not really what I was thinking. I mean, it's not really a bad idea. It's still better than what it is now, adding an extra lane, but I would think, having a little bit more of a plan on that would have been a little better, but, should be much higher priorities. Sure, because I think the Green New Deal just kind of goes in play with the infrastructure bill, and high-speed rails is a part of infrastructure. That's what that is. So on top of the Green New Deal, we can also look at researching carbon neutral or very low carbon emissions high-speed rails as well. I don't know if they're carbon neutral or not, but I would think and hope they could. You have too much of a debt of the wars and Reagan's shitty tax policies. Does the debt really matter much if you have control of your own dollar? If the country has control of its own dollar? And if it's actually being invested into programs that will actually help the everyday people? I mean, like from learning with the very little I know about it with modern monetary theory, I mean, debt isn't that big of an issue as people would make it out as it is. So, at least for the U.S. citizens, because we have control of our own dollar, and we can also, with at least in Obama's term when he was investing in a lot of these different projects that were milk toast, to be fair, but still like fairly decent milk, sector types of policies that were But I mean that increased the debt a little bit, but ended up at least being somewhat slightly better overall. Hope one from Portland to Vancouver, Canada passes. Should. Get to Seattle in about an hour.
Specifically, the
Yeah.
ethical scene as it relates to bioethical questions, we see how new definitions of life, along with
That
the
caused World War
definitions
II.
of death,
It's like war causes death,
the actions which were formerly acknowledged as contrary to
and we should probably get out of those to probably help deal with that. And if it gets too big, we're wasting fuck ton of money on interest. Yeah. I mean, it's it's not to say that it's not a total problem, but I mean, we have an ability to control it a little bit. It's not like, oh no, we can't do anything. It's about to get bad. We can only do one thing before it gets too worse. It's like, no, we can manipulate this and control it. I mean, it is manipulable. Message retracted. Damn. Silenced by the media. Message retracted. Damn. Also silenced by the media. Typo.
50 years ago, he says, a man was mad to think of anesthesia. 40 years ago,
The Russian bot had a typo. Its algorithm was disrupted. Totally can't be a real person.
Who can tell what tomorrow's madness may be? Think about that. Who can
Think
tell
about it.
what tomorrow's
Think about it.
madness may be? 888-673-3700.
Think about it.
That's 888-673-3700. I'm Clyde Lewis. You're listening to Ground Zero. We'll be back with more. Don't go away.
FM News 101 KXL.
If you use a body shop the insurance company recommended, odds are it was not repaired.
Think about it.
I'm Lake Lakes Auto Collision Centers. For over 25 years, we've been helping thousands of victims of bad repairs.
Did you watch our Founding Liars?
Second time, and
I've actually haven't heard of it.
Sure pays the cost.
Shit's funny.
Say with
I'll have to check it out then.
100% certainty, if you had structural damage and used a discount shop, it will.
We get past all these programs and a closer deficit at the same time.
Lakes.
Did you see the analysis by David Pacman? Thinks his name at least. I mean, you got it right, but it's not Pac as in like Pac-Man. It's Pac as in like P-A-K. But he's a little like for him. I watch his stuff every now and then, but I take it with a huge grain of Paul's ego, because he definitely does parrot a lot of different mainstream talking points. Like he's pro Venezuela's invasion, like Carlos was mentioning. He's also staunchly pro Israel and pro their apartheid, and really likes to every now and then have like this identity politic narrative every now and then, and that gets really annoying. So every now and then has correct points and stuff, but yeah. More like David A. Pac-Man.
Companies get away with
Damn. I haven't even drank this yet. I'm gonna drink to that one.
The truth is, there is no
Mmm.
when insurance companies break the
Holy
law.
shit, this is good.
Lawyer or life.
Dude, try
No,
this.
we're not lawyers.
It's
What is it?
It's a limited edition vanilla pear bean.
Factory parts.
Damn, that is so good.
Choose Laves.
Holy shit.
The finest in collision repair.
Vanilla bean pear
At FMU.
seasonal reserve. Damn.
Damn!
Damn. This is amazing. 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 This is what an alpha drinks. When you're a beta lesbian, you're not amazing. And you don't drink this. And the rest of Pac-Man plan money for maps. Well, I did see that video you are talking about, and that one I do. You know, that one I was something of his analysis I did agree with, but for his overall commentary, it's like a hit and miss. David ethno-nationalism for Israel, multiculturalism for the West, Pac-Man. Damn.
And some of the things that we were discussing. Let's see, getting back
Speaking of that, did you hear that Bernie hired a prominent Palestinian rights activist as a campaign advisor? Cool.
People like Galileo, Newton, Pasteur-List, and all the others.
He's going out on it, ending the wars.
Back in the day,
Well, his campaign is collaborating with Gabbard's campaign, and she's definitely going all out on this end of war idea. So maybe that influence is spreading into Bernie's campaign. So cool, sweet.
do that in order to operate on you. And I'm sure that when it was first proposed, it was seen as something evil. Oh my God.
Well, I think I'm gonna go grab an extra layer now.
So we can do an
So.
operation on them, something really extensive.
Cool.
Calm them down to the point where they don't even feel us cutting into them. I mean, look, if you were alive and they stabbed into you, grabbed an organ, you'd die. But under anesthesia.
If you don't want to massacre innocent Venezuelans, you're a Leninist. David A. Pac-Man. Roast. Think he's going to have Gabbard as a major officially VP, Secretary of State, or Secretary of Defense. I hope VP. At least minimal Secretary of State, if that were to be the case. But it's your duty. Never mind to send tax dollars for Israel. Howard Bloom. Damn. Damn Howard Bloom. Sad face. Alright, I'm definitely getting another layer. I'll be right back.
He realized those were the things were attaching it to food, and there were still others in the same field who believed that a little unseen demon was attaching itself to the foods that make people sick. And Pasteur maintained that these were no devils or demons in food, they were only germs. However, a contemporary Pasteur named Antoine Belchamp strongly maintained that germs would absorb any and all influences that existed in the food surroundings. This included toxic backgrounds, negative energies, and chaotic atmospheres, demonic influences. He believed that food responded negatively to loud noise and negative human emotion. He also maintained that microorganisms could be channeled or conjured into food from dark areas of anywhere in the paranormal field. So anyone who ingested the food tainted with a demon-possessed microorganism would become very sick, and their bowels will be turned to water. Well, now we know what taints food. We know that medical procedures that sound horrible are conducted every day, and they save lives. And this is not the work of demons. This is not a reason to go out and burn people like witches. This is how science and understanding change the way we see things that were once considered supernatural or magic. And I've said many times on this show that when it comes to the paranormal and parapolitical, I'm 14. And this means that I explore paranormal phenomena and conspiracy like Charles Fort did back in the early 20th century.
Fuck y'all doing?
Because he said, Fort, he says, they believe
Make sure
something that is
forcefully
like a short
real
repair
sports and a
case,
little
they
diversity.
don't stick. And it's hard to be rigid when dealing with the
More war
paranormal,
than only
especially
for
when
Israel
science is
force
now looking at paranormal
comes to table.
happenings
Yeah.
and researching them in
They're
order
planning to go into the moon for our tax dollars. Oh my god.
So
Do they have a space program?
everything, it may be fun and exciting,
What?
science fiction becomes science fiction.
Great.
There are still a great number of
You're literally
scientists
Israeli space program. Oh my god.
still believe in superstition and
Oh my god.
of what is being revealed right
Please
now.
tell me you're all are. Please tell me this is bait you all planned ahead of time for me to
Free thinking,
believe. Please tell me this is bait.
we have permission
Please
to
tell me
have
you guys are
thought
kidding.
process, we have permission to have imagination.
Please tell me this is a troll. We fund their universal healthcare all at the same time. Slap shades, bash the idea of American single payer. Well, that I already knew, but I was just. But if it's a space, oh my god! Please tell me that's a troll. You're trolling me, right? This is a troll, right? Please tell me this is a troll. Please tell me this is a troll. Please tell me this is a...
Yeah, I'm trying, partner.
An anthropomorphic robot? What the fuck? The furries are taking over. We're just doing it via robots. Sweet. Cool. Oh, bro, we're funding Israeli NASA by defunding our own.
That's how you have two of the same things that basically have the same purpose but look different. It's how they evolved. Machines have evolved. Humans kind of stopped our evolution because it's the idea that...
This has to be a troll. Please. Just tell me it is. God, there's no way. No, we're not that far into it, are we? Or we're not that deep in it, are we? Oh no, we are. Oh God. Oh man. That's about American as it gets. Yeah. What the fuck, dude? Open your borders up, Goyim. What's best for your own government? Send us text. I just love all these fucking corrupt governments that are just trying to push their own narratives and just all playing cahoots and jack each other off to their own little personal fantasies of how they're gonna do shit. Like, oh yeah, you like that, Israel? Let's say I'm in America right now. You like that, Israel? Yeah. You like having that? The whole apartheid going on? Yeah. What about you, Saudi Arabia? Like getting the Mamluk Empire going back again and shit? Yeah. What about you, Neo-Ottoman Empire over there in Turkey? Yeah, I bet you want to get that Neo-Ottoman Empire thing going on again. You want to just be the Ottomans, huh? Don't you? Yeah. We're just like all to these like different corrupt governments and shit. We're all just jacking them off, playing to their fantasies. This is absurd. Absurd! Give us your shackles so we can spray white phosphorus on non-combatants. I don't know about the moon thing, but we do let Israel do whatever they want. 38 billion over 20 years. Yeah. Oh, 10 years? Oh, well. You know, that's gonna keep going for 20 years. You think it's gonna stop after 10? Israel can go to the moon, diversify it. Yeah. I mean, China already did it, but they're China. They're not diverse. They have to be Israel, so it can diversify it. When people wonder why I'm a cynical, nihilistic, pessimistic asshole about the future. Ugh. You know, I'm not even surprised if we are honestly funding their stupid little space program. Like, can't we just have like a whole, like, global space program? Just put all of our space programs into one fucking fat space program. Wouldn't that be a better use of, like, trying to go to space and shit? Like, really? This is how we're, like... Like you don't have to like stop NASA and stuff when you do that. Like they'd still be their own autonomous agencies, of course, but like you can like cooperate and also, you know, in a sense have a competitive need to, you know, make the best technology to do, you know, space exploration. So I mean, wouldn't that be better use of the time for this shit instead of just like let's just funnel money into these governments and just let them do what the fuck ever. Oh, they're doing genocides. Whatever. Oops. Whatever. They're our allies. They give us shit too. They give us some cool stuff too while they're at it. So why not? Fuck it. It's okay. But you know, let's just just fuck all these stupid programs. Let's just help everyone else, even though we're actually making shit worse. Open fire on a U.S. ship, and our entire nation seems to have forgotten it. When the fuck did that happen? I mean, I knew that happened. Like, I've heard about Israel doing that before, but I just don't know when it did. Like, did that happen recently? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they did that to try to push, like, a narrative that Syria did it or something. I also learned that recently, Sean warned us about this before he died, Truman, and everyone else after, besides Vietnam. Maybe Carter, JFK didn't listen. Well, of course. 1967. Okay, well, maybe not so much as a narrative for Syria, but maybe for like Iran or something, or maybe the Soviet Union. Being like, hey, they're gaining control out here and they just attacked your ship. And they should forgive it because many American politicians are Israeli puppets. Oh, but guess what? As soon as the Soviet Union did that, or if East Germany did that at the time, or Yugoslavia, or, you know, China or something, or North Korea, if any of those fucking nations did it at the time, we'd be calling for fucking nuclear war at the time. Maybe not nuclear war, but we'd be calling for fucking war. Israel stance, someone else did it. U.S. stance, all hail Israel. Ding, ding, ding. Many Americans, member of Congress, have dual citizenship. That should be fucking deported. I mean, if I was just doing it to just random people just around this country, including vets and shit, and people in hospital beds, we should do it to them too. Fuck it. I have the same stance. And if they resist, tase them in the testicles 11 times. I don't know why there specifically, but yeah. That's a slippery slope. We shouldn't outlaw dual citizenship. No, we're not outlawing it. But for the people who are corrupt Israeli puppets. So have them, if they love their country so much, go back to it. Because evidently they push their policies on us. You should actually enforce foreign agent and corruption laws. The U.S. is not going to do that because we actively break them all the time. And no one does anything about it because we're the world police. We can get away with it.
Oh, there it is.
My tray's over there.
Except the lawyer or Leif's. Now, we're not lawyers, but we do hold the insurer accountable to cover 100%.
God, this is so good. Vanilla. I never knew like vanilla bean and pear and an alcohol could go so good together.
Huh.
I looked at the pear. I didn't even really pay much attention to the vanilla bean. I was like, huh, a little hint of vanilla, but pear. And I was like, alright, I'll try it. And it's like, it's pear right off the bat, but it has like an after flavor of vanilla with that pear. It's really good. Like, damn, that's probably like the best cider I've had, like, ever so far. So far. Like, that is just nice tasty. Oh, that foxtail cider. That's actual stuff. That's my favorite.
That's when we got in the Hood River. Or
Yeah, but
something.
we need to go back down there at some point and like
Yeah.
bring that bottle up, and I know you get a refill with it or something with that, or half off or something
Right.
like
I
that.
never even had the bottle filled up.
Oh, we have it somewhere. I know that much. It's somewhere.
Okay.
I think it might be either in your room or maybe in the kitchen. I thought I saw it in the kitchen, but it could have moved. But if I find it, I'll just have it in my room and just put in my collection of bottles on my shelf. Actually, you wanna? I think I found an interesting idea that I think might work. I want to get a shelf like a shelf like this on the side of my wall to put some books on too.
Right. Yeah.
And then also some other stuff that I could put up there as well, kind of like how this is going. So I'm gonna see what Dad has for wood, and maybe he can help me with that, or at least just show me how to do it without making it loppy or lopsided or some shit, you know. But you know, it's something I can probably do pretty easily.
Right.
But I just want to make sure I do it correctly the first time, and I know he knows how to do that. It requires like the measuring thing that has like the little bubbles, like the little bubble things inside to show you if you're like level or not.
just thought of a funny little bit from Rick and Morty in my head. I just real.
So I know my audience might know about it, but there's this little bit in Rick and Morty where I think Morty's trying to like make this like a little level floor or something, and and then Rick came in. He's like, "You're not going to be able to do it, whatever." And he got all butthurt about it. It's like, "Fine, I'd like to see you do it." He's like, "Fine, I will." So he does it. Literally, it makes like a little like like a 3x4 or a 3x3 little square surface that's literally like perfect level, like perfect like flat level. And then Morty comes, and then Rick's like picks Morty out and is like, here you go. And he's just like, all right, I don't see what the big deal is. And he walks in and he's like, oh God, true level flatness, huh? My life's a lie. He just freaks out and just like goes and just loses his mind and shit. He's like, everything I've known is a lie. And I'm just imagining that's what happened. That's like when the realization of a flat earther, when they realize they're not on a flat level. It's just Morty freaking out that he found true level and realized that we're not on that. It's so funny. I don't know why that popped in my head just now, but it did. Oh my god, all sorts of shit happened here. If y'all was just working with both sides of the aisle and getting something done. Working both sides of the aisle? Get the fuck that, dude. No. That's why he would lose. No one wants this bipartisanship anymore. That's what's been continuing this perpetuation of this wars, of the exploitation of this country and around the world. And it's been continuing the bailouts of Wall Street and the banks. That bipartisanship's why we are in this situation. But if he wins, good, because it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious to see. And watch him just go... I mean, if you want to get stuff done, you have to be unapologetic about your policies and your issues. And, like, quadruple down on them. The GOP improved cuts. Yeah, that's called bipartisanship. Is put up a milquetoast compromise bill that should have been the initial solution in the first place, and then cave into whatever they want. No third-party candidate can win. Well, yeah, of course in this system, but there's the only third-party candidate is billionaire Howard Schitz, and look how well he's doing. But then again, he is a billionaire. Are becoming dangerous. So why would working on both sides of the aisle be a good idea when they're becoming dangerous? That's why Biden ain't gonna win. I mean, to be fair, I would say the Dems are too, with their establishment politics as well. I mean, I want to exclude them and how dangerous they are, because in a lot of ways they're probably more dangerous due to how covert and subtle they are with their corruption and, with what they do. They're a lot more covert and a lot more snaky with how they, push their own agendas and interests. This really is not the greatest spot to be trying to do all this marijuana situation. Just gonna move this a little more back. That'll help. I don't know why I chose to be right here instead. Harris' website literally has nothing on policy, not even platitudes. Oh, it's full of platitudes. But they're so bad, they're just words. Like, her platitudes and cliches are so bad that, like, they are just words. There's like nothing in her platitudes. It's so bad. There's like not even there's like very minimal. It's like so it's so minimalistic. That actually like shook me. I'm like, Even your platitudes and cliches are like, even like it's oh my god, you can't even do that right. To be fair, I saw Cory Booker's announcement for presidency of his little 1 minute thing, and it was worse than that. So I think they are just. I think they just have gave up on how to do cliches and platitudes. I think they gave up and they're just trying to throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks, which it's not. When voting for neoliberals every year and expecting things to change is like putting the key in the ignition of a burnt-out skeleton of an engineless car and expecting it to start. It's the definition of insanity. Yeah. At some point, you just have to scrap that car and go for a new one. So, I'm for saying about my statement from earlier. Harris is worse than Clinton. I do agree with that. Because at least Clinton wasn't a cop. Harris is a cop. So, nope. And I don't mean just cop as in like cop. I mean bad cop. The corrupt ones. The piggy ones. The ones that do all the fucking mismanaging of evidence. The ones that tamper with court cases so they can get more people in prison. The ones that do the fucking shootings all the time. The ones that go tase people half to death. Has killed more people than Harris has. To be fair, that's true. But I feel like Harris had a lot more domestic damage done. I don't know. Clinton has that record. Harris has a smaller record, but to me, just as, but a little more disgusting in different ways. It's also named people don't pull your punches, don't be naive. Yeah. Which is unfortunate. Like the fourth estate, the news media and journalism and like political commentary, like all of that of the fourth estate is what it's like the last bastion of what people can look up to. And we can't even look the fuck up to that anymore. Like, people don't have much to look up for when it comes to, hey, is there anything salvageable in this current state? Not really. Like, there's not much salvageability with this insane corruption. We really do need to, like, just scrap the vehicle and just get another one or build our own. Like, salvage the parts of that other one and go get new parts. Build a entirely new, better vehicle out of it. Then start it up. Drop more bombs at Cove Zone on one day than all of Operation Market Garden. No fucking shit, dude. There's nothing on his campaign website, but does on his Senate website. Cory Booker, cheap as a hooker. Good shit. Good scheiße. I dislike it, so, like, when it comes to just mainstream media and shit, dude, it's like, it really just boggles me. Some female like 10 pound won some medal award from Bill Clinton. She dropped a bomb on civilian infrastructure targets, pulse off schools watchers. Wow. So instead of being convicted for war crimes, she gets a medal. We award people for war crimes instead of putting them to trial and convicting them for their due justice. A school named after her? Oh my god. Has anyone realized that everyone's using first names for campaigns now? Not really. Not so much. No, Dems are using first names for campaigns now. Corey 2020. Yeah, because I think because he knows that he could be called a hooker and a whore, you know, and a prostitute with Booker 2020. Booker 2020, the cheapest hooker around.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Kamala 2020. Ugh. More like Cop Mala. Bernie 2020. That's always been the case, honestly. It's been like Bernie 2016. I mean, everyone, like, that was a thing back in 2016, too. For Bernie's case, at least. Amy 2020. Well, that one is because... Look at her weird, absurd last name. It's Claude. It's just like, what? I can't even, like, huh? I mean, in reality, it's Klobuchar, but I just say because it's just looks like a word. It just looks like someone collaborated a bunch of letters together and called it a name. I mean, to be fair, that's what names are. But I mean, it's just like absurd, dude. It just looks so bad. Oddly enough, there was a trend of Albanians naming their children George and Bill and Jeb after Yugoslav wars because they viewed America as their savior.
Does God keep us in slave status?
Warren had his actual policy, at least. Out of everybody, or out of the establishment hacks?
Do the same thing as God, then we're going to have to put the same restrictions on our creation as God put on us. A limited time of program.
What's your active Donald stripper naked on live television from the Oval Office and cut his penis off for all Americans to see? I think I would literally die of an aneurysm because I laughed so hard. And then I would implode into myself and create a black hole and open another dimension to a parallel universe. It's actually really easy to find good ones this time around. Policy equal probably good. No policy equal tits, get the fuck out. This statue of George Bush in the middle of tyranny. You want me to puke out like my delicious cider, dude?
Oh, thanks, Mark. Thanks.
I need a burger. Everything on it. Sorry, I got a munchies watching the stream. I barely ate my eggs I have down here. I barely even touched my eggs. I've just been drinking this pear brew thing. Like, I beg your pardon,
Good
sir?
one, Neil was.
Look what God had to do with us. Look what we're doing with our AI. Look what God had to do with us. Look at the decisions God had to make. If God exists, what decisions did he have to make in order to make the deal with mankind and make the deal with those who would be part of that source to enter into these containers? It would be the idea that maybe, as we say, God is the God of our souls. God is the God of our bodies. Because, the design was made, long ago. It was similar to the design. I mean, there's something to that Gollum alchemy thing in the homunculi. The idea that the magicians knew of the homunculi, they knew of the Gollum, and they knew that certain words, certain phrases, and certain things would animate the Gollum. And so the same thing with God. God made man as the Gollum. Then he gave certain words and information.
Sub policy oriented campaign while still being bad policy.
And then that Gollum replicated on its own while God went off somewhere else to do work elsewhere. So we still have this thought in our minds that God is out there listening when God can be out there.
Well, none of them as of now. Gabbard has a pretty thick policy going on, and same with Bernie. Booker half-assed it, but he's half-asses everything. Yeah, because establishment Democrats half-ass everything. He's just so bad at it, he's just blazing. He's so bad, he's blazing. So.
They changed their little logo on these things. Ever since 1966. Bullshit. I remember we did a survey on if we should sell, if Coca-Cola wanted to sell these damn things. Because when you know, a product of Coca-Cola. I love it, dude. I love the Coca-Cola monopoly. It's beautiful.
It's so American. Like I think Coca-Cola, Walmart, and McDonald's are like the most American fucking companies and corporations you can get out there. If you see that anywhere else in the world, you've been Americanized. Just face it. Just face your reality. If you have Coca-Cola splattered around your country, or McDonald's, or a Walmart somewhere, you've been Americanized. Just accept it. We took you over. We just did it culturally. So, I think McDonald's partnered with Uber to deliver. No, see, yeah. What do you know? See, America takes over. There you go. Let's face it. It honestly has not one perfect candidate out there, so we always see what works. Uber Eats. Well, yeah, Uber Eats is a thing by Uber, but McDonald's basically takes a major advantage of it and becomes like the number one thing used out of Uber Eats, basically. Because, you know, partnerships and contracts, you know, to basically buy it and own it because profits. We need to make more money. So, we don't care if you make less money. We're going to make sure we get a partnership with you. Money. Money. Saw a documentary about how Sherpa villagers in Nepal are wearing Coca-Cola t-shirts, McDonald's baseball caps. We invaded and took over a fucking village in Nepal. Think about that. The American empire spreads everywhere, and it's just... It touches every corner of the globe, including Nepal. Oh, man. The only place we haven't touched yet is basically the unhospitable regions where we literally can't, like, traverse or else we die. I mean, unless you have the proper equipment. But, you know, it's not many of those places at all. Not a lot. And even then, we probably temporarily been there. I get Indian food without having to drive through the ghetto. I don't really need to do that at all. There's an Indian restaurant not too far off from me. And plus, in Cartlandia, where that's not too far off, there's an Indian cart there too. So I don't have to go through any ghetto per se. But Cartlandia is next to one, but not directly in it. So C Force Galante on JRE. Oh, did he come back? Yeah, because I remember listening to a podcast a while ago with him on there, but if he came back on, cool. I'll have to listen to that one. But I remember listening to him the last time he was on, which I think was a month ago or something, I think by now. I don't know, it was a little while ago. It's not, that guy's the dude who's the adventurer, right? Like, he goes out, does these fucking expeditions and does adventures and shit and, like, checks out fucking wildlife and nature and stuff. Is that what he does? Talked about how there's a mountainous bowl-shaped area in the high mountains of Peru that has been untouched by humans. It is possible there are giant sloths in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the same guy I'm talking about, yeah. Local cultures reference giant sloths in their folklore. I mean... I wouldn't, rule it out. I mean, there's always a chance, but the only way you can really find out is if you go in there. But that shouldn't be just willy-nilly. Like, that should be a process, like, so when we do go there, we're not really tainting this untouched land that hasn't been altered for so long, It's unlikely but possible. The only way it could be accessed is by helicopter. Yeah, so just have like a team go out near a little area of open field and have a helicopter there and just have them explore the local area and see what you find, And then, after your little expedition, come back. Or if you discover it, document it and come back. It's a bowl-shaped valley in a bowl of craggy mountains. Yeah. I love those type of regions where you got like this little bowl and a bunch of mountains and shit, and you'd have like this oasis in the mountainside and stuff. That's awesome. It's just like a little baby paradise of just like everything is living, chilling in like equilibrium here. North Sentinel Island's interesting. Yeah, but you can't go there. Yeah, that one you definitely can't go there, or else you'd get killed by a bunch of native tribes people. So, you know, like I would love to go on that island, you know, or you know, have an expedition that happen there, but can't. So, honestly, it's gonna sound bad, but you have to wait for them to all die off on their own time. Like eventually they will. I mean, they've been dwindling in numbers for a while now, so given time, they'll eventually just die off or be so little in numbers that if enough of us came by that they wouldn't fight at that point. It's like there's too many. We would just be obliterated by the gods if we do this. Or something, I don't know. And there are only around 50 Sentinels on the island. Form contact, the Sentinels will kill them by diseases. Been killed by diseases a few foreign tribes they've had. Yeah. I mean, if I remember right, the reason why they're so violent is because there was a scientist that did like all sorts of crazy sexual experiments on them, and like also did like some torture or some shit. Like he did some really fucked up stuff to them. And when he left, the tribes people were just like, we're never having foreigners ever on this island again. Anyone who steps foot here that isn't us is dead. That's pretty much what they were like because of the trauma they've induced. So, on one hand, I really don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. And you know what? Good on them. They probably are in peace where they're at. They, you know, they're just... That's all they know, that's all they want to know, and that's all they give a fuck about, and that's all they care about is that little island, the resources there, and how they... And just their life in peace. That's all they give a shit about. You know, it probably freaks them the fuck out when they start seeing shit coming up to their shores and stuff. And when helicopters start flying overhead, they're probably all traumatized, like, oh god, they're invading! Probably know the Spec missionary might have given them the flu. Yep, maybe. Is that why they're violent? They're violent because they're afraid. Highly doubt there was ever even the story to speak of. I'm sure there was. I mean, I remember listening to this from someone who because that whole missionary thing got brought up, and then there was this guy that was talking about some of the origins of it. If I could find it, I could send it to you. It almost did. They used to be somewhat friendly until foreigners started bringing disease to them. Yeah. Members of the previous zone contacting Amazonia tribe claimed they thought aircraft were demons. See? Yeah. They don't understand the modern advancements of our technology, so... Of course they're going to be batshit scared, you know, when they see one of those, like... You know, these jets flying overhead and stuff, the commercial jets, like... Making their roars out in there, and they're probably thinking those are the fire dragons, you know, freaking out or something. The fire demons. Good. Wow, that's actually quite surprising news to me.
Yeah, it's good though.
Oh, wow, that was some lovely news to hear just now. The second highest official to Pope Francis is now facing charges for, guess what? Pedophilia. Child sex abuse charges and shit. Nice. Beautiful. It's about time we started cracking down on him at some point. My lord. Outrageous. I'm just hearing the news and it's like, oh my god, can we just bring on the nukes? Can we just have the nukes? Can we just have those now? We're just going to go for the slow, painful death route. This long, induced, non-nuclear act. Oregon's Senate President sponsored legislation that will help the housing crisis and improve public transit. Cool. Every ethnicity should have a right to defend their territory. Well, it's not not really ethnicity, just people. I mean, if y'all,
Good job.
if your community or whatever, your state or country or whatever, you know, it's just doing its thing, and all of a sudden you get violently invaded and shit, you're like, oh, well, we're not just gonna sit here and take it, are we? We should probably go stop these sons of bitches. So stop them sons of bitches. While I point my thumb at you, like a very, very soft and very gentle politician.
Progressive Insurance. Pick from a range of coverage options with the Name Your Price tool to find a price that works for you. Find out more at progressive.com.
The Hannah, this is that advertisement. It's on. I'm gonna at least let you all save the suffering. I'm muting my. Is my chat is a bunch of retard. Oh shit! I put the mic back on. Never mind. Yeah. So, yeah, that just lost. I just gained a little bit more insanity right there. So, yeah, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that happens. So, ooh, oh boy. Yeah. I hate commercials. I actually found out that I think it was either a town or literally Brazil, the whole country at one point in its past, literally was like, hey, let's ban advertising, like, you know, just across the board, just like publicly or whatever. And I'm just like, what? I'm just like, what? It's like some crazy shit right there. But man, why can't we take notes to that? Not I don't even really want to ban them, but they need to be like limited severely. Like we need like an extreme limit on how much is just like pushed down our throats on TV, on radios, on billboards and shit. Like there needs to because I guarantee you more of our lives now are full of advertisement more than the actual content we're trying to seek out and watch or do or whatever. Or you know, when we're driving around, there's ads everywhere. While you're going, you know, on your phone, advertisements. While you're on the radio, advertisements. While you're on the TV, half the fucking show is advertisement. Like, we get it. We're more likely to ban your ass and, like, not buy your product, spamming your ads, than actually buying it. Like, back in, like, the early days of advertisement, it was simple. It's like, here is a Lucky Strike cigarette. Clean, crisp smoke and healthy to the lungs. Like, granted, I used a cigarette ad. That was a horrible example because they're bad for you. But it was the premise of what I'm trying to say. Because, one, they basically were like, here's what we're advertising. Here's someone consuming it. I like it, you know? And usually it's like a celebrity sponsoring it or somebody, you know? Someone usually that people will recognize, or someone that generally looks, you know, like an average Joe person or something. So, it used to be like that shit. Now it's just, I can't even explain. Like, every ad is trying to, like, do something different nowadays and trying to shove it down our throats all the time. And it's like, we must make something different. We need to make that more unique, or, you know, push that different message, or try to, like, something, you know, whatever makes more money. Whatever makes more money. It's just so dumb, dude. I'm all for banning billboards, sir. Eyesore and waste of raw material. The city of Charleston banned all billboards. Massive improvement. No shit.
Good job, partner.
I agree. Good job, Charleston. My partner. Nice. I'd move there, but it sounds kind of not as amazing as it normally would. But get MTV because they were ad free, but that didn't last. Yeah. Of course not. Unfortunately. But now they're just trying to seep in on the internet, and oh my god. This is like my last bastion of like sanity right now. And they're after that now. Oh. They got another thing coming. Bam, bam. They got another thing coming. Bam, 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 bam. I know that wasn't a riff. I don't give a shit. See Sam Harris on Cherry? Was he on Cherry recently? I didn't know. Also would have watched it. Shit. They made some good points about rich culture and cancel culture. Cancel culture. Sweet. I'm definitely gonna check it out. About the hypocrisy of it all. Though, to be fair, it's pretty blatant at this point. Stop ads for popping up. And now websites are starting to get the fact that people use ad blocker, like me. So some websites you go to will say, please disable your ad blocker, and we'll let you see the website. Which is annoying, because those websites are plastered with ads. And look, I get it. The need to, you know, have a little bit of income to help sustain their website, but this is why, like, I don't know, there's definitely I know there's a solution to it, and I know net neutrality will definitely be one help. Internet Bill of Rights will definitely be a great idea. And from there, like, you know, like, I can think about it for a bit and, you know, think some ideas. Rest is our own to rehabilitating, forgive literal murderers, gang members, to society of folk mindset. Offensive jokes are forgivable, yeah. It'd help with the ISPs curbing internet speeds and internet connection. I mean, it would help try to curb a lot of the corruption, because why net neutrality was initially instilled was because Netflix at the time wasn't as big as it is now, and they were getting throttled severely by Verizon. So that got brought up in court, and one of the few things Obama did good was make sure net neutrality got passed. Internet in America is a fucking shame how slow it is and how expensive. I know. While I'm watching shit on my phone on YouTube, even with the Wi-Fi, it will start cutting out every now and then. Like every 30 minutes or something will cut out for a second. and then it'll like pop back in and buffer for a minute, even though it's loaded that part of the video already for the video for the. It's just like, really, I shouldn't have to deal with that. It's just it's like a pet peeve of mine, and I have to deal with it. And for some reason, I can't 100% like listen to videos now with the background anymore with my phone, because I have YouTube Premium, so I can do that, because that's very useful when I'm working or when I'm traveling or whatever, doing my transit shit, how Portland, whatever, whenever I'm doing that stuff. So it's useful for that. Useful for not seeing ads. That's about it. YouTube still will make fucking money off of it, but I'd rather not see ads, and I know YouTube will make money either way off of me. So here, you know what? You want my fucking money, just take it. I don't want the fucking ads, and I'd rather have it back in the old YouTube ad days, where you can at least listen to videos in the background and stuff. So, fuck you. Our shit, nationalize the telecoms. Yeah. Honestly, like, the idea that, I mean, net neutrality should just be tied into nationalizing a telecom industry. There's a lot of nations that have done it, and South Korea, I think, has done it, and they're some of the fastest internet speeds in the world. And we can have that. It is feasible and possible on every metric. We just need the policy and the infrastructure to go, and the contract to go do it. Just the idea needs to get passed, and I think a lot of people will enjoy that idea, considering how much of a public service the internet is now. It's always an excuse as for why America can't have nice infrastructure. Yeah. And for the establishment is, but we need to defend you from ISIS or something, or the Vuvuzela, or the Iran, or the Wusha Wushas, or the Wush Rush, or the Ching Chings. That just sounded kind of racist. Oh god. Oh my god, that was bad. But you get my point. It's too expensive. It's the boondoggles, socialists. The naysayers as well as move the goalposts. Yeah. That's why you have to just be firm and unapologetic on your policy and your issues, because there's always going to be motherfuckers, so you're always going to try to be naysayers and shit. If you give into that idea, then you're just then you cave into their narrative. The government's really bad at tech stuff because they don't invest in it, and they don't actually take the time to people in government don't take the time to educate themselves on on what that is. That's why, for the most part. Pfeiffer was right. Yeah. Do we need a fuck ton of outside consultants? So? I want that. They need that. And that's something that should, at this point, be required. Like, if you go into government, you should have at least some understanding of how the internet and how social media and how technology works. At least a basic understanding. Like, I have a basic understanding. I'm not an expert, but, you know, I know some basic shit about my phone and computers and tech and stuff. Needing consultants is a given. Exactly, yeah. I don't think it's a good idea because the technology behind it, potential of misuse. They're already misusing it already, and the telecom industry is buying off the government to look the other way and be uneducated on the issues is why it's being misused.
Place page, huh? Yeah, it looks beautiful, but yeah.
To give the NSA direct access. Well, that should just be dismantled, but I mean, in this current system, they already kind of have that direct access because the telecom industries lobby with them. Abolish NSA. Yeah. Should be abolished in the first place anyway. Lock me up and throw away the key. No, don't lock you up. Your minutes too corrupt right now to run the telecom industry. I mean, yeah, with that part, I do agree. Which is why we need to root out the corruption and at the same time instill an actual standard so we can get moved to that standard directly. Think it'd be effectively regulated? I mean, Sure, but I mean, I still feel like nationalizing it would definitely be a lot more a better of a idea, at least. Just mainly because with how much the internet is used, just with everyday people all the time, whether they're just doing research, looking for a job, applying for schooling, or whatever, or applying for a license for something. You know, pretty much everything in some way, shape, or form that we do now is based off the internet now. And to have this service be privatized and be like, oh, you have to have a bill and have to pay a certain amount of money that you may or may not be able to pay depending on your income status, and for most Americans, is utter garbage. No pay privatizations, fast lanes, Comcast cancel. Yeah, and that's my main argument for why it should be nationalized, because the fact that we have ISPs that can, even if we do have these regulations, we'll find loopholes to do it even minimalistically, is really absurd. Should encourage cities to do it. I mean, if there's like a federal standard of how states and municipalities can do it, I mean, when it comes to nationalizing it, so there'll be like specific rules that the federal government will have as a standard, and then the states and municipalities and towns and everything will all be able to, as long as they abide by these specific rules, be able to kind of instill their own little policies on how to do it. Then that'll be fine by me. Less potential for misuse. Yeah. Again, you know, something like that would be fine by me. But still needs to be a standard on this issue, just like with a lot of other issues. There needs to be like a standard on healthcare. There needs to be a standard on gun control and regulation on in this country. There needs to be a standard on all sorts of different shit, and we just don't. Should be the standard. Yeah, it was, but not anymore. CNRS. I don't think one size fits all on this. I don't know. I don't know everything about the issues, so, you know, like, can't, you know, since I'm not that knowledgeable, I don't really have as much, you know, to really say on it, so, Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm just willing to listen, so I'm just like, yeah, sure. Just as currently have a little bit of a different opinion on it, but I mean, I think, you know, local municipalities can, I mean, again, like, I think as long as there's at least a federal standard and federally nationalized to allow the states and municipalities to instill their own form, I think that will be the best option. Let me ask, what's an Internet Bill of Rights? What would an Internet Bill of Rights contain? For me, specifically, I'm probably am not the best schlub to ask on that issue, but for me, it would include that these different platforms like YouTube, all these different social media platforms would be considered public platforms, because that's essentially what they are now at this point. I mean, government officials tweet policy, and now even mainstream media is like using tweets as news content now. So I mean, it's just been so ingrained into our public use of how we connect and communicate. I mean, same with all these other platforms as well. I mean, which would help protect those people from these absurd terms of services where people just get deplatformed over being trolls. Like, there was a troll account named Kamala Harris, and it was just a satire account trolling Kamala Harris, and they removed that account just because it wasn't abiding in by terms of service, because it was impersonating somebody. Let's say doesn't allow political talk at all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, what site doesn't do that? Like, I mean, there's. Why should politics be forced on a car forum? Well, it's not. A car forum, you know, with people talking about cars is going to be a forum about people talking about cars. I mean, if politics gets involved, it's probably something that happens in the automotive industry or whatever, and people want to probably bring it up in that sense. So if people on this website about talking about their love for cars or whatever want to do that, it's still going to be a thing. Same thing with anything else. In non-political sections, yeah. Because Reddit's basically a website forum. Like it's a forum, but it's just a super forum, basically. On topic and civil. Well, a little random website that somebody is running because they're like, hey, I made this website to, make a little forum with, for people to check out, about these cars and stuff. I mean, that's that's not what, like, I mean, there's no one's forcing political talk on that. That's just what that forum is going to be. It's protecting people who do political talk on social media platforms like Twitter and stuff. Just because they, would make a political opinion that people will disagree with doesn't mean they should be banned or deplatformed or whatever. Has 200,000 members because it's a website about bases and it has a forum for people in the base community. So it's a different platform for people with different interests. Protecting people's right for political talk isn't forcing it on people. It's just protecting the rights for people to have their opinions. Because they shouldn't really be banned or deplatformed just because, they have a totally disagreement. If people personally want to block them, that's a different thing, but just totally deplatforming from the website is another. And that's why these websites have the ability where you can block people and where you can mute them if you want. Because if you don't like what they say or just don't like them or find them just really annoying or whatever, you can block or mute them so you don't have to deal with them. You set the standard for what websites apply. First Amendment applies to all of them. It wouldn't be an Internet Bill of Rights if it was cherry picked for certain websites to have it or not. Actually, I need to charge my phone, so I'll actually switch and go sit down. Whoa. Go over here. Stop standing all this time. You know about Trump on a car repair forum? They have the right to do it. So, if you don't like it, block them. That's why the block button will be there on pretty much every website. Want to be involved in politics and all? Well, unfortunately, politics gets involved in pretty much everyday lives, and people talk about it even, when it gets just brought up willy-nilly in conversation. It just happens. So, I mean, there's no real way you can just not get involved into it. Sometimes it happens. If you don't want to get involved into it, then just get out of the conversation and move on. Don't know what else to say. But I think people's right to have their opinions and beliefs, even on the internet, is still applicable. Have people replying Trump 2020 because they're dumbass trolls, so block them. And they're not being useful. And honestly, I don't know when that scenario has happened when someone's like, hey, I need advice on how to repair this vehicle. And then people are just like, Trumpa, 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 Trumpa. That never happens. There should be a right to not be involved in politics. Yeah, it's called don't get involved in it. It's just then don't get involved. What's support being forced? It's not forcing it on people. It's protecting people's right to have their opinions and beliefs. It's not even necessarily political. It's just opinions and beliefs, and those could be philosophical. Those could be religious. Those can just be their personal whatever beliefs or anything. It's not even necessarily political. It's the least official way of doing anything. So anarchism. Do not have to hear it. Then don't listen to it. And that's also why the block button is there, because then you could just block them and then move on with your day. Then you won't be able to have to hear them, because they can't communicate with you because you blocked them. In car forum, yeah. If there's, yeah, I'm sure they're on like random little car forums and shit. There'll be a block button on there. It'd be weird for it not to. Yeah. Yeah, that's to me not a problem. You're going to have people who play bass who are Trump supporters. You're going to have people who drive and work on vehicles who are Trump supporters. And they're going to every now and then talk their politics occasionally. Especially if they see another Trump supporter. So the fuck what? Who gives a shit? Let them live in their little echo chamber and be like, oh yeah, Trump, yeah. Let someone else talk politics. They could talk wherever they want about it on the internet. It's the beauty of it. They can go wherever they please about it. And there's also other forums for those communities too. Again, if you don't want to hear them, block them. That's why that button is there. Drink. Like that. So you're just against free speech then? And just want to have a little echo chamber where you just basically have a place where everyone likes the same opinions and sniffs their own farts and stuff? Because I don't want that. I'd rather have a place where I can challenge my views and have people that I disagree with and might find obnoxious and shit. And if they're very obnoxious, I'll just block them. Like, having a free speech on the internet where people are protected to have the right to say their piece is a lot more better and doesn't put the slippery slope of deplatforming people at whim. Because that's inherently against free speech. And I'd rather personally stand for the principle of free speech and allow people to have their beliefs and say what they wish. Because there's fucking, like, religious preachers that stand outside, you know, fucking Portland or whatever, saying nonsense like fags are going to hell in a pretty pro-gay town. You think half the people want to hear that? No, but they don't do anything because they just move on with their fucking day because who gives a shit? They're going to spew their nonsense. Who gives a fuck? They have specific purposes because it would be a slippery slope not to. That's all news sites. Supposedly, not so much with like websites like RT or websites like Free Thought Project. What else am I missing right here? I'm missing something. Oh, there it is, yeah. Listen to this. Politics forced on. It's not forcing on them. People are going to talk politics no matter what, regardless of what website they're on. If it gets brought up, people are going to talk about it. And generally, even if there is a rule to try to keep it out, most people generally abide by it because generally they're there for that one specific purpose to go check out a car forum or whatever. But occasionally you get a dumb little troll, and occasionally you might get somebody who talks about it, but so the fuck what? Who cares? They're going to have opinions and beliefs that you're going to disagree with. Who cares? When? Don't like it, block them. That's why it's there. I mean, I don't personally block people on Twitter myself, but I never found a need to. Because I know Twitter's like a cringy cesspool where everyone's a fucking outraged little faggot, but just based on the principle that, you know, they have a right to say whatever they want, I just don't block them. But it's there, and people use it, and I don't give a shit if they do. I've been blocked by people, and you know what? I don't give a fuck. Whatever. So what?
Feel the most comfortable socks in the history of feet by going to bombas.com/fmnews and get 20% off your first order. That's bombas.com/fmnews.
Well, sorry, but the freedom to be away from people's thoughts or feelings, honestly, doesn't override the right for someone to have the right to say their beliefs or opinions. If the whole idea of the First Amendment is supposedly for when we're out and about doing our own little soapboxes out in the streets, or even just every day, you know, just like protesting or whatever, if it supposedly applies to that, then it should apply to the internet too. Period. Opinion is on, and chances are they're probably going to go there to speak them. Like, I don't know why the thought of, if we have free speech rights, everyone suddenly on the internet, suddenly all Trump supporters are going to flood like car forums and internet forums and shit. Like, I don't know where this stance is. I don't know where that notion's honestly come from, because most people who talk about politics generally talk about it on Twitter or some shit. Like I've rarely ever see it on random little forums and whatever. If it ever gets brought up, it's usually related to the topic or whatever, because sometimes the automotive industry gets involved in politics, and maybe not so much the bass industry and the music industry, but you know, with the automotive industry and with cars, vehicles, and shit, that gets split. That there's politics involved in that sometimes. Like when it comes to like the whole shit with Harley Davidson and Triumph and whatever. Like when that situation happened, that was a political situation that was in the automotive industry, specifically motorcycle industry, but still the overall automotive industry, and it was political. So it happened. So like people have the right to talk about that shit in an automotive car forum when that happens. When, you know, politics happen with the automotive industry, people should have the right to discuss it on a car forum because it's kind of related to that thing. And if you don't want to go onto that, then don't click on that forum. Go click on another one. Like, these whole forums have little subsections that you can go check out. And if you don't want to go on one that happened to talk about politics, go to a different subsection forum and go to that one. For channel for local parks regulators, so. Free speech. How do you enforce it? Well, the enforcement of it, I mean, for at least when it comes to like Twitter and YouTube and shit, it's a little bit more easier to, make a case for, because it's like just simply don't fucking ban them because they make it a video that happens to be offensive or happen to make a Twitter post that's offensive or something. But I mean, you would like. I'm not an expert with the whole internet with internet consultants, so for me personally, I would have to look more into about enforcements and people who have delved more into this, more into about the policy for it. I just advocate for it because I think I think that's a really great idea. And there's a few things I think could be implemented, but I'm sure there's a lot more that can be implemented with it. Like subreddit, how do you prevent leaders from removing the shit that violates rules? It depends on what that subreddit is. Like, if that subreddit is like trying to spread child pornography or something, then of course you want to fucking remove that. But if they're just like a super more extreme version of like a Trump forum, then like, so what? Like, I mean, if anything, it's probably a good idea, because if they start spreading some shit that seems a little threatening and more violent, then it's blatant. It's right there. You can fucking track their ISP and see and actually investigate them and track them and see what happens. For crime victims. What about like forums that are like for people who talk about being victims of crimes and shit, or like people who have like committed them? Because if it's one that is about people who committed them, then leave that open, because then it's just people brazenly admitting that they did a crime. Then you can easily fucking get a warrant and track them down and try them for their fucking crime and shit. But for victims, like, same reason, I guess. How do you prevent moderators from removing content that violate their rules? Thing is, that's really arbitrary, because like the rules for like Twitter are really absurd and very vague. Same with YouTube and all these other platforms. Same with Reddit. I don't know much about the rules of what Reddit's rules are, because I don't use Reddit that much. Like, I don't. Servers, mainline websites having an off and on. Yeah. That's the problem, that all these private platforms have an off and on button on it. It's like, oh, I'll approve of this, I'll approve of this, I'll approve of this. Oh, but I don't like this. Get this out of here. Violate the rules. Again, like, I'm not a total expert on that, so I wouldn't entirely know, but it would have to depend on what those rules are specifically. But if it's just like we're against people just putting opinions and, certain views and whatever, then that's just a really arbitrary, vague rule, and that shouldn't even be there in the first place. Case by case basis. Well, that's more of a slippery slope than just having a standard across the board. That adopt rules that aren't fake. Well, for that, for the rules that aren't vague, well, again, it'll just have to depend on the rules. So let's just think of one, for example, like, let's say it's just like some random forum site, don't care what, and one rule is you can't, let's just make one up. Like, let's say it's about, like, let's say the forum's about, fuck? Let's just make something about cats or something. There we go. And they have like a rule where you can't have like you know, videos of cats getting like harmed or whatever. That would, for that enforcement, that for me would make sense because people probably aren't going to a cat forum to see fucking cats get tortured and killed and shit. And that is also just kind of fucked up, right? So for that enforcement, if there's an account that is doing that, then with a federal standard of like an Internet Bill of Rights, it'll the owners of the website would have to just follow the rights standards. And when that type of shit's being displayed out on that type of site, it's like a little bit of a no-no. Like if that shit was on Live Leak, that's different. But I mean, that would be a bit of a no-no. Force them to remove it. A fine to the website. Or have the website temporarily disabled. And then or I don't know, like I'm just thinking of random different ideas right now. Have the website fined, or have the owners fined of the website, or who operate it fined, or the company that runs it fined.
Oh.
I mean, not if the Internet Bill of Rights is a global standard. The government has very little control of the internet. So would you rather have corporations run it? Because I wouldn't. Alright, yeah.
Yes, Jordan. No.
I don't know. Like, when it comes to the Internet Bills of Rights issue, I'm not 100% informed on all the specifics about that. But, I mean, I'll have to delve more research on it for myself and then come back on discussion again.
Drunk right now.
Ah! Well, luckily that fell on the tray and kind of in my weed there, so it's all good. It's OJ's. OJ Simpson's.
He was innocent. He killed his wife.
I don't want to shut down what it says because they don't have speech force on them. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want governments shutting down websites in general, period. Lest it was funneling like some actual illegal shit or doing illegal activities. Doesn't buy companies to begin with. Should. They shouldn't get a free pass. I mean, companies do have the right, to have their, if the CEO of like fucking Walmart, wants to like make the company endorse like certain opinions, whatever. People from that money. Well, no, but it should enforce the right for that speech for people to say their opinions and beliefs, or for organizations or for movements or companies to do that. Even on internet platforms. If your portal is unenforceable without shutting down non-compliant websites. Well, because again, I'm not 100% informed on the issue because I've only known about the whole idea mainly just shortly after net neutrality repeal, and it hasn't really been brought up much since. But I know there's a lot of information out there about it, so I'll just, next time it gets brought up, I'll have more information on it. Those would be huge court challenges. As there is with free speech court cases, usually ends up being huge court challenges, which is generally going to happen. Which it should, because it should be very specific, when it comes to these cases. If we're going to, convict someone because of something they might have said. Supreme Court, the first man applies. Coming to be able to fire someone for instance. I'm calling Sienna an asshole. It's really bad for business. Well, yeah. But sometimes CEO is an asshole. And sometimes customers deserve the insulting because they were a total douchebag to you. To be fair, I've done that before because their customers were total fucking assholes to me, and I'm like, well, fuck you, miserable prick. Coming here getting more cholesterol and more fucking diabetes and shit, coming here getting my fried food. You're gonna insult me over it? Fuck you, miserable bastard. I've done it before. Yeah, but it's been. Can we regulate that? Sure. If an employee is just literally like going to customers and be like, "You're a fucking dick" or whatever, that's obviously something that shouldn't be happening. But if there's customers that are being rowdy and aggressive and just insulting to you, you have the right to insult them back. Honestly, at that point, fuck them. There's been cases where I've did that in front of other customers too, and the other customers are backing me up, even though I've honestly just straight up insulted the one going at me. So, there's times where it's a little bit better for business, honestly. But again, it's if you're actually responsible with it and actually know when that door is able to be opened, For that, it's kind of a case by thing. But if you're about to get fired and shit, you have every right to call your CEO an asshole because they were. But, you don't want to, if your CEO is an actual nice guy and shit, or a nice gal or whatever, chances are they're not, so no reason to. But most CEOs these days generally aren't. I'm not going to shove someone places. Well, yeah, again, if there's employees that are just blatantly just doing that shit, yeah, that's a problem. But, this customer being very insultive, aggressive to me, I'm probably going to say fuck you to them and call them a miserable prick or something else. And then they're going to walk off and have a little huff. And then they're probably going to go customer service. They're going to walk up and be like, this customer had a little thing, and they said you said stuff. And I'm like, yeah, he was being directly insultive and degrading me at this point, and had enough. Told them I'm not going to serve you. Go piss off. Which we have the right to do that at least, to not serve people if they're being that aggressive and shit or whatever. So. Free speech is sent to companies that look like works on job also. Yeah, and to at least some extent it should. Because there are companies that won't allow employees to talk about their wages with each other because then they'll probably find out, oh, well, I'm actually making a lot more than you, even though we're doing basically the same thing. This is a little bit, a problem. Like some companies will actually just straight up not allow that type of conversations to happen if they catch it. So, to some extent it should, but, what, of course you shouldn't be, harassing customers or insulting them, degrading them just because they're just fucking there. because then that's a problem for, and then because that's obviously a problem for business, and then that CEO has every right to fucking fire them because they're not doing their job and being a total prick. Off the clock. Shouldn't matter if they're off or on. If there's a very slow business day and they're just in the back just doing their own thing for a little bit because there's not much going on, they have a right to talk about their wages or whatever. Oh god, the fuck commercial's back. I'm not gonna let you hear it. Chat are a bunch of degenerate little assholes and fucking degenerate chat. Oh, I already unmuted myself. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought there was like a little time thing. But anyway, employer is. So well, if their employer is shitty, why not? I do it, and I still unproductive and get my job done. Today, Ben. Well, I'd find out why they think. Well, I'd find out why they are. Like, I'd find out what's the reason why they are. I'd be like, you guys don't appreciate me for some reason. What am I doing wrong? Like, explain it to me so I could try to resolve that shit. Like, if I was a manager, at least this is how I'd approach it. And then I let them say their complaints, and I'd be like, all right, I'd consider them, and try to deal with them. Try to solve that issue. So then it becomes a better environment for everybody. So I'd personally just confront them and solve the issue. See what the problem is. And if they're just dicks about it, then I don't want them around. But if there's an actual complaints that they have and there's actual merit to why they're having their complaints, then of course I'm going to listen to it. Because generally the case is if they're bad mouthing you, they're not doing it for no reason. Doing it because something about that work environment is very negative to them and they want it changed. And they're looking at the manager to get it dealt with. So at that point, it's just a matter of communication. Give up. Oh, whatever. I mean, again, like, there's a lot more, there's people that have actually done a lot more studies and, knowledgeable, like, investigations of this, like, type of stuff, so I'm not the schlub to really go to talk about it. I mean, I said that literally right before I started the whole conversation, so should have made sure you had that back in mind when talking about the whole thing. But, again, I mean, I can go delve into more information because I know there is a lot about it with a lot of different ideas and policy ideas about it. So I can just clobber it all up together, and next time it ever gets brought up, we can get into it again. Ah, shit. It's clogged every time. Boop. 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 Oh, God dang it. Do 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 do. Waiting for Ignar to take a hit, but the torch doesn't want to cooperate. But now it did it again. Boo 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 boo.
FM News 101 KXL. It's been a mystery for years that the Black Pearl Event Center is finally open with spectacular views, large and small group capacity, and with indoor and outdoor spaces. Bring your private or corporate event here. For pricing in a gallery,
But
Black Pearl on the Columbia.
let's go on some more brighter things. Let's do that now. I want to see some smiles in the fucking chat. You hear me? You know what? We're gonna have a dance party now. Let's do it. With Wilsonville's shit. Hell yeah. Only in old Wilsonville. It's time to get your banana. Oh yeah. Woo! Let's do it. All these deals at Wilsonville. Wilsonville today. Y'all having a psychedelic trip yet? Kind of wish I was. After all. Glass met glass. That was unfortunate. It is midnight. Midnight. It's not even 2 minutes still. Couldn't make an excuse to do that. Yay! Now let's get the rest of them. Let's get the rest of them. Oh my lord. When the day, like, honestly, like, this was. Like, this is, like, what I kind of want to see happen for the Vatican. Like, because you know how they have, the Vatican has, like, so many artifacts and archives and shit that people are not allowed to see or whatever. Like, if somehow, like, the Catholic Church or whatever gets shut down for all these crimes that are coming out, like this and shit, like, and they make the Vatican, like, a public, like, a big museum / like, monument area, and then, like, released all those like archived, you know, artifacts and documents and stuff, and let it be like museum public pieces and stuff. Like that'd be awesome, honestly, because I mean, there's a lot of history that is just hidden in there. I mean, you know, that, like, I would love to go there if it was that, but there's just no way I would step in there. It just feels way too unnerving. Even going there, when it comes like something like that, will be slightly unnerving because knowing the dark history that, you know, it was. It's like, oof. But I'd probably be too, like, engulfed in all, like, the history that's around me to really notice it that much. But, you know, it's definitely a fascinating place, but, you know, it's just like how it became. It's just like, ugh. So I am here in Allswell. Good. Oh, made Stefan Poor silent. His tweeting habits. Oh my god. Say, this is why. Oh my god. This is why I'm. Oh my lord. Over his head. If we're gonna get Elon Musk over his tweeting habits, we need to get Trump on his tweeting habits at that point. I mean, if we're gonna have that standard. Oh my lord. Oh. I mean, I know there was a little bit more to it that I was kind of hearing. There was something else about like Tesla, you know, that he wasn't able to achieve or something, and they're going to court about that as well. But just how they first started that, they were like about his tweets and stuff, and then it's just like, oh my god, that's how you start it. Oh, that's so funny though. That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness. Sit up, damn. Damn. I'm not responsible. That's all I know. Where did Carl go? He always just like sneaks out and shit. Little sneaker. Sneaks out, sneaks in, sneaks out. Mysteriously disappears for a while. Like, I knew there was something different about me and Stefan going back and forth because Carl wasn't getting involved. I was like, where the fuck is he? This entire time, I'm like, because I know he also has input. I was watching your video around 8:30 and remember high winds. Yeah. It actually snowed here, surprisingly. It didn't really stick at all. And honestly, I don't know if it's snowing currently, but it did for a little bit, surprisingly. Like, after I ended my stream and I got all my stuff collected into the kitchen, at least, I was like, ah, shit, I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay. I was reheating my bison. I was in there for a certain amount of time. I'm like, all right. I can go out there really quick, do a piss, come back in. It'll be enough time for me to stop the microwave before it goes beep, 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 making a lot of noise and probably waking Robert up and everyone else up and shit. Because, probably like 3 a.m. at this point, maybe. I was just eating that up and just went to bed after that. And then
You're like me, I actually watching when in 1 second, I open the door.
Yeah, and then I'll press the stop once so it goes back to the time, and then, it'll just be like one little beep. So I always try to do that, and I just will sit there and wait and like let it be 1 second and then wait for like a quarter of a microsecond and then just go boop boop. And then I drop that into the can and get 2 points for the Blazers, and we win the game. Oh, everyone freaked out! All of a sudden, I heard a Z and then a bang, and all went dark. I lost electric. Damn. Yeah, when you're all in sudden darkness, you kind of can't help but suddenly your body feel like you want to go to sleep. So, I was actually playing a little bit of Project Zomboid. I was eating my bison, and I'm getting my little house set up pretty nicely. In fact, before I end the stream, I might just show you guys. Like, I got it to the point where there's like hardly any zombies that come by my place, so I don't really have to worry about it. And I'm starting to build this fat wall around my area, around my I'm like taking down like the white picket fence of Nuclear Family America and building a fat log wall of like the pre-America wall fort shit style type of thing. And I'm gonna have that instead. So yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty good about my little setup so far. Like, I was initially gonna use that as like a little temporary area, but I got it set up enough to where I think I might be able to stay for a good amount of time. Eventually the power's going to go out, so I'm going to have to find ways to put little candles and stuff around and collect those, which I have been collecting. And then I'm also going to need flashlights, which I have those. I'm collecting batteries. I'm going to have to find a way to get a generator. So there's things I'm going to need to start thinking about for that, but not doing too bad. I got a good stockpile of food, so we're pretty good. I think, we're doing pretty good so far in the game. I just have to... I accidentally went into this one shop, not close to my place, so it was good, and it caused an alarm to go off, and like every fucking zombie from like a mile away started running to it, started coming to the sound. So as soon as that happened, I just fled and came back to my place and there wasn't even a single zombie near my area. And I was just like, well, I think I did a better thing causing that. It was a little restaurant, so I was gonna loot it for food and stuff to collect more stockpile of like canned goods and, you know, some temporary food that I can have right offhand. And that ended up being a diversionary strategy instead by accident. I didn't even mean for that to happen. It was already broken into by, you know, the horde and shit of zombies that will eventually break in over time. And that just totally didn't happen at all. It was just like, well, didn't go off then. I don't know why it went off now for me, but whatever. Are you continuing the dome movement? You damn right I am. Fuck the wall. Build the dome. Make America domed again. Even though it never was domed in the first place, but we'll make it again. Mark my words. The Thunderdome will return. Because we are the children of the dome. But, Game Boy? Of course I am. Hell, when I was a little kid, my dad would like play on the Game Boy while I'm like playing out in the park, and then I will like play on it for a little bit and head back home and play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Actually, so I was able to get that compatibility thing they were talking about, Stefan, and there's actually so I got Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 on there, but there's this little thing where it's like I was saying, you need a little CD, which I have actually, but for simplicity's sake, I'm like, would it be possible to do it without it? And I was trying to look it up, but it was a little confusing, so I think next stream I'll probably do it in my room and have to show you what I'm talking about. But I think I'll be able to continue to play because I want to make this park and I want to do a let's play, and I'm probably just going to record them at like hour at a time. And what I'm going to do is make this park to what I used to make it. Like, this is like an OG park I did, but I'm going to reimagine it basically. And it was like this like coastal type of park, but also had like a little river. It was very geographically like done pretty nicely. And it had like a little mountainside off to one corner and a little river making like a tiny little delta going off on into the shore. It was awesome. It was beautiful. And I want to try to recreate that and do a let's play of it and try to rebuild what I made, you know, in the past, and show you guys essentially, because Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is my childhood, and I mean that. Like, I think the game I played the most in my childhood out of like Age of Empires 1 and 2, out of like SimCity 2000, that OG, I'm going 2000 and 3000, and what else? Like a variety of different flight sims. I can't even name all of them. That's how many. And there's so many that I played, but like out of all of them, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 was the one I played the most. And I just was like, it was that like ate up my childhood more than anything. And I was just like, oh, it's my favorite. Probably I'll have to look it up. Work tomorrow, so I won't be here. Let's say maybe. All right. I'll probably might be able to figure it out by then, but if I won't, I'll recruit you. But yeah, but if I can, I'm gonna try to make this park, and I want to be able to like do a let's play of it, because it's like that game is literally, that game holds a special place in my heart. So I'm just like this, like I don't give a fuck if anyone doesn't even like it. I'm doing it because like this little let's play thing I want to do is literally just something I want to do. That's just, I don't even care if anyone's watching or not, or it likes it or not. If there's like no likes and nothing but dislikes, I don't give a shit. You know, like I'm going to like do it because again, that game, honestly, like literally that game has a little spot in my heart. It's like, Such a great game. Oh, uh-oh. I heard a little pupper. Probably getting over at the cat. Don't tell him that. I'll be all alone. I have to rest the stream to Pro Drug Rally. Oh well. That'll just be the scenario of that. I mean, I won't be like gone. I mean, it will be content. I mean, I said I'll be doing Let's Plays. That means there's gonna be content on that. So go back to roller coaster again. Well, I mean, I can't even like. I mean, there's not really much to say. I mean, I like besides just like the simplicity of it, but how just how like I don't know, like just how simple but awesome it is, and just how complex it is too. I mean, it's just I don't know how to really explain it. I'll just have to show you the game. Check it out. I mean, there's Let's Plays, a gameplay of it too on the internet, on YouTube. There's a lot of them actually. Like Doom.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, that was amusing.
It was.
But
You picked it up.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, well I'm not gonna make you suffer over that. Oh my god. I'm not a dick. But what was I just about to say? But oh, Doom Kid. He's subscribed on this channel, but I'm subscribed to him too, so you might be able to find the subscriptions list on my channel or something. But he has time lapses of parks he's built up, and his parks are pretty awesome. And he actually like is really good at making parks, and from scratch. He will just make a very simple map and just literally built it up from there. And that's it. And it's awesome. Like, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make my map a little bit more geographically more complex. That's about it. But essentially the same thing. Just gonna go from scratch. It'll just be like this little field that leads into this little coastline with a little mountain off to the side and with a little riverbed with a slight little hill on the side of that. It's all good. I remember on the mountainside that I had, it had like this little flat spot where it was essentially like a dining little area, like a little. It's like a building on the literally built into the side of the mountain that I constructed prior to making the actual park, and it was just essentially like a little place where people can go eat and chill and stuff. And in the game, when I officially got the park going, I had a little ski lift going up there, and then I also had a railroad that went down to the bottom of the hill where you can walk up there, and also there's a pathway that you can take if you want to take the very long route. Most people took the lifts and also took the railroad as well, so that was a thing. So I had like a park train that went all the way around the park. And so people can go hop on that and go to a certain section of the park and start going on that side park. So I had a really intricately made park. It was like, and I'm actually kind of excited to kind of start doing it again now that I can. Now that I know I'm this close to being able to do that, I'm getting excited to get back in it to build that park up, dude. Because that was my pride and joy. That was my pride and joy. And at the end of it, I think I'm gonna like lump all my like Let's Plays together into a time lapse, so it's like a start to finish like park built up, into like this huge, big thing, So I don't know, we'll see. But this is gonna be like a little personal thing I want to do, and I don't care if anyone hates it or not. So this is where my ego comes in, and I'm just like, you don't like it, fuck you then. Go watch something else. It's just like at that point, it's like whatever. Something I wanted to do, and I'm doing it. Old games, while not graphically assigned, are still the best. Yeah, I threw my old CD on Rokus. Oh, you heathen! I can go grab mine right now. In fact, I will.
I'll do it. I'll prove it. I'll prove it to you.
Some of us think it's pretty gauche to have to, pay death taxes or to fund
See? Still got it. But, oh, man. It definitely needs to be wiped a little bit. But, it's right here. I don't know what's on the top of that, but it definitely needs to get wiped a little bit. It says it needs a CD for me to play it while it's still compatible, but that's the thing. It's a little something on there. Darn. Yeah, dude. I've had this since I don't know how old. Windows 98 ME 2000 XP. Copyright 2002, 2003 Atari Interactive. Alright, yep. Chris Sawyer, Six Flags, Atari. And also, it's the triple thrill pack. So it also has like DLCs on top of it too. It has like mythology, prehistoric / like Jurassic, and I think also like just extra content on top of that, like extra scenarios and like extra scenery and things like that. So there's just all sorts of. It's just my childhood's right here, man. It's my favorite. Always played it. It was on this little CD stack of all the CDs I played. There's a lot of them, by the way. A lot of them. I'm not gonna bring that whole stack in. I mean, there's a lot. It's like this thick of CDs. But this was the one I played all the time, and it was on the very top for good reason. I'm just like cuddling. It's just like how, like, you know, I've like had a long lost plush toy and I'm like, oh, this is that. It's just like, oh. I mean, it's just like this. I mean, this game honestly just holds up even today, dude. Like, even like the more modern, even Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 or Tycoon 3 or whatever, that one, I don't even like that one as much. I just always have preferred Roller Coaster, like, all hands down, to any Roller Coaster Tycoon, like open worlds, like make a roller coaster park tycoon type of thing. I've always have just hands down always will go to this. It's always going to be this, always, no matter what. I won't recommend anything else because there's no way. I just call it bias. I don't care, but I'm unapologetically going to, you know, shill this game. If anyone's like, what's a good like roller coaster game? Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Look it up. Especially the triple throw pack, because then you get all sorts of cool other content on top of just the regular game. Stefan left us. He's still here. Good luck. Hopefully at least give you that burger. Yeah. Gonna be stuck in a drug rally. Hey, you know what? I feel like that would be at least good. That would be a good use of his time, though. Listen to all the advocates of what they think that, you know, should be a thing, you know? Honestly, if you, like, that's actually a good way to, you know, kind of question, you know, about an idea. Like, go to one of their rallies and be like, hey, what are you all about, you know? Sure, some of them might, you know, give a weird answer, but that's why you talk to a bunch of people. Because you're bound to at least get, you know, an answer that's same amongst all. So many food games played well on it. Stoner Joe? Yep. That's why I love Windows 98. Yeah, I think that was my first PC. And at first, literally my first PC gaming was like shit like Elmo stuff, you know, like the educational games for kids. And then once I became like pretty much around like 2002 to 2003, same time around this game came out, that's when I started playing shit like Age of Empires, Roller Coaster, this game, and just all sorts of other games. And, yeah. So, when it comes to playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 on Linux, it's not going to be that big of a deal, at least right now, because I do have the CD. I just have to clean it really quick. Because had to bring it out of the archive of old CD games I used to play. Oh. Hey, look at that. The shine. Nice. It's kind of spooky shine, too. Wait. Hold up. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, yeah. I like this. Hold up. Let's get some extra shit going. Hey. Hold on. Damn it. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Nice, dude. This is nice. I like this right here. Nice. A little extra spooky, aren't we? Oh, don't worry. It has just begun. It's just begun. The only thing is like a little sphere in orbit on my face. But can I do it from? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah. See, now that orbit it kind of fits on my nose because that would make a little sense. So it's okay. Come on. Damn it. There we go. Beware of the dark night. He will take your soul. Okay, I'm done. I just wanted to play with that for a bit. It's because that was kind of fun. Had to take advantage of that situation because absurdism. Absurdity! There we go to torture. Light, finally. Well, I'm not going to be holding my CD up to just, like, proportioned, hold the damn thing. Did Dad ever feed the cats yet?
Huh?
Did Dad ever feed the cats yet?
Probably not.
Yeah, because I saw him, but he's a little, not awake.
Yeah. I think I got some kid liver. Kid liver or something.
Yeah. Hate this shit, damn it. Damn filter torture. Sepia haunts. Whoa. There's squares in my eyes. There's squares in my eyes. Oh, that's a little. That actually kind of brightens me up a little bit. Lights of. Well, of course. Of course. Wow, this really makes me like go from like a good rate of FPS to do just shit. This just looks bad. Wow. What have I done to myself? I've like caused me to glitch the Matrix. That's what I've done. Because we are a little we're lagging behind. We're lagging behind from my voice now. That's right. Yep. You enjoyed yourself a little bit. It could be the crossfade, I don't know. That'd just be my hypothesis, but could be right, could be wrong. I don't know. Look like I'm wearing a fucking fairy on my head. I mean, look at this shit. Like, what am I even wearing this for? What's even the point? I don't think there is one. All of cinema history. Holy shit. Make a triple fade. Shot of vodka. I'm gonna get a triple fade. Shot of vodka. Oh, well. That'd still be a crossfade, I feel like. But, yeah. Why not? I don't have it, but why not? I'm not getting intellectual simulation from this. Well, we had a lot of intellectual stimulation, and now I have to kind of let the dumb out. We have to let the dumb part out of me. The dumb. Gotta let that out at some point. I feel like near the end of these streams, that's where it happens, where I'm just like, bleh, whatever. I said a lot of intellectual shit now. I don't even give a shit.
One man has a genius and thrifty idea for when it comes time to go to a nursing home. Terry Robinson said he's going to go live at the Holiday Inn. The average cost of nursing home is $188 a day, while the long-term stay with the senior discount at the Holiday Inn, $59 a night.
Oh, I forgot my.
Breakfast and some even have
I'm gonna have to probably reheat this.
Yeah, so he's only going to have
Yeah.
left over for lunch.
But
Gratuities from the hotel staff. They'll have over $100.
I don't have to go away for that.
They treat you as a customer, not a patient. That's actually not really a bad idea. I wonder if there's going to be a run as more and more baby boomers retire.
Sweet. I'll just let it sit there for a bit. Or at least be lukewarm. I'll be warm enough. Man, I wonder how her show's gonna be tonight. Talk about the Feinstein scolding the kids, and then go on about it. Oh my goodness, it must be this is gonna be a fun little trip. And then shows something about gun or something. Yep, magazines. Yep, something about gun. I was right. I mean, all the fucking condiments. You dink. Besides the Senor Tomates, I concur with your consensus. Oh, and mayo. I don't like mayo that much. Honey mustard, yes. Pickles, of course. Lettuce, onions, bacon. Why not? Havarti cheese, I would definitely accept as an alternative to just normal standard cheese, which is usually cheddar. I would also have what else? Cucumbers on top of pickles, cause why not? I'll have a little hint of spinach. You know, a little bit of a little spinach. You know what I'm saying? A little spin. And then you gotta get a little bit of that ketchup on there, a little grizzle of that. And what else? Buns lightly grilled and a light pesto sauce on the top. Bang. I think we got a banger. We have a banger. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a banger. I personally don't want tomatoes, but if anyone wants to add the tomatoes to that, go ahead. I think I'm going to have to make that now. I think we're going to have to do another Ignar Cook stream. Chef's Key with the Huskies thing. I haven't done that in a while. I've been playing. I wanted to do that, but I haven't really had an opportunity to do so. Have to do it. That was beautiful. Tremendous. Let me just tell you. Believe me. Cooking show. I mean, I've done it a few times. Shit. I mean, I definitely got a few streams where I was doing cooking. So, hell yeah. I'll do a few of those. You do a few more anyway. Cooking with beer try. I don't know any recipe that would include it, so you'll have to enlighten me on this. Enlighten me in this great way of beer cooking. Shot of vodka here, shot of vodka here. Yep. I ordered a hoagie yesterday, and they gave me a page to check for ads. Ketchup, mustard, mayo, lettuce, onions, fried raw spinach, sweet hot peppers, Old Bay, pepper, salt, and 6 more. Oh my god. A recipe that uses oil better replace it with beer. Huh. And pickles. I checked for all. Hell yeah. Just be like everything. Clog this. Okay. Ugh. Beer chicken. You know, I think I will do that as my first thing. Get like a chicken breast instead of using butter or olive oil to cook it with. Put some burr. Put some burr. Some burr. What would actually be good burr to do so with? What would be a good Bill Burr to do that with? You can get canned beer, stick a chicken on it. How do you do that? Shove a beer can up a chicken's ass? Oh god, it's actually kind of traumatizing even for the chicken, I bet. Oh my god. Butt on a can and cook. Butt on a can and cook. Butt on a can and cook. Don't really got a hook. I'm a terrible rapper, this is why I'll never do that. I don't rap. I don't rap because I don't give a crap. My raps are so simplistic. See. I can't even rhyme. I can't even think of a rhyme after that. See, that's why I don't. I mean, what? Simplistic. Because me being a pro rapper ain't realistic. There we go. That's a line. But it came like a minute after, so you know that's why I don't do that. Chicken, Stefani must know about the beer chicken. I'm actually a little concerned about the beer chicken. I like how you can see myself. You can see me in my glasses. Thus, you can see the chat. See, you're seeing the chat now. Look at you guys. See? If I can move over here, you'll be able to see yourselves in the chat. See? See you guys in my glasses. Let me zoom in on that shit. If we can. There you go. Yeah, you can see my guy. You can see y'all in the corner there. Hells yeah. You just can't see what you're all actually saying, but that's all you chatting right there, y'all. Right there in the glasses in there. Not too much ass and not enough food. I think there will be almost no ass because it will be literally eviscerated for the fact that the beer can is in the chicken's ass. So, yeah. Beer eggs are excellent, though. Really? Because I have eggs right over here, so you should have told me about this. Could have put a little bit of this in here. In beer battered burgers. Ooh. Stop making me hungry again. I need to at least have a little more time for my eggs to reheat. Against my heater. Cider, apple taste with eggs? No thanks. This isn't apple. This is vanilla bean pear. Good sir. And this tastes amazing. I mean, I've been drinking it with this eggs in my mouth, so in a sense, I'm mixing it together there. And it tastes amazing. So, I mean, look at the art design. I'm keeping this bottle. Look at that. Pretty sexy if I say myself. Boom. She's like the Golden Robin Hood. Avid. Seasonal. Reserve. We call upon the Greek goddess of snow, Kione, to forge a cider to combat the bitter, bleak, unyielding chill for fathers, Boreas, god of the north wind's winter season. Damn. Equipped with a quiver of Madagascar vanilla beans. Her quest to begin a hunt to collect the finest Northwest pears. Oops. In an effort of pure blasphemy to her father, she then pressed blended and fermented drink in the perfect elixir that would allow mortals to survive through the season. Damn. Damn. She is the goddess of snow, Kione. Even worse, in my opinion. You heathen. You heathen. I don't like, especially like sweet drinks. You heathen. This is blasphemy to my ears. How dare you? Blasphemy to the ears. I'm not listening. No, 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 I'm not listening. Nope, nope, nope. Blasphemy. 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 Nope. How dare you? You are a heathen. Shame on you, boy. Can't even tell how fast I'm going. Because I'm just gonna stop this. This is just... See, now I'm normal. As soon as I do this, I start getting all glitchy, but I do this, I'm normal. I saw how fast I was going. Methinks you might need to change the water.
I'll do it tomorrow. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, probably so. A little dark.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a fermented tea now. Would that technically be a fermented tea? Because think about it, like, tea is pretty much grounded herb in a bag, right?
Mhm.
That goes in water, but it's warmed up and stuff usually.
Right.
I mean, sometimes the little bits of weed will get in there, and then all that will just kind of blend into the water, right? So would technically, if you make like a marijuana tea, would like have a ground marijuana in a bag, putting it in there, would that technically be the same thing?
I guess, but I wouldn't want to drink it.
Well, yeah, that's smoked. Like, you don't want that. But I mean, if you were to, but in a weird technicality, I think that is technically a tea.
Mm.
If you want to put a weird technicality on it, but of course it's just gross ass bong water. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it, like, in a way, that's just like a weird process of just like making marijuana tea.
Yeah.
Weird way to explain that, I guess. But whatever. I mean, because I know like there'll be like some marijuanas that will like go through here, and I'll see them lurking in here, and sometimes I'll get it a little bit of bong water in my mouth sometimes, but it won't be that bad tasting. But it's like before it gets, something like that, or something. But it won't be that bad of a flavor. It's just water with marijuana flavor. It's like if they had a cannabis Mio or something, and you just put that into water, but lightly, and it just has this like kind of weird flavor. It's kind of weird, but it's not like gross. But that's another level. Suzuki equal drunk. I don't think bong water would count as a tea. Yeah, I think so. A man can dream, can he? A man can dream. My roommates are major tea connoisseurs, and they would laugh their asses off. I bet too.
Yeah, I got some tea.
Dude, show him this, dude. Show them. Show me the reaction, dude. I want to. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh shit, dude. Oh man, I need a good laugh. God. Oh. Jeez, that was funny. I don't think bog water would count as a tea. I just love the blatant realism in that. It's just like it's just like I know what it is, but I'm just like, I know I could get away on a technicality. Fuck you guys, I can do it. It's technicality tea. Oh my god. I mean, technically you can actually brew marijuana tea, but in that way, obviously not. But I mean, you could do it. I mean, marijuana tea is a thing, but I mean, not bong water marijuana tea. Oh man.
Man, it comes over this from Colombia, man. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, this is a Colombian marijuana tea, man. It's the good shit. It was
Here, I'll let you go first.
Oh my lord.
Oh, fuck.
I forgot to tell you that's wrong water, man.
Oh man. Oh. It reminds me of this picture I saw of it was on Deep Fat Fried. They were doing an episode on just having no ideas, and they derailed onto like clicking for people with MAGA hats because they had a theory that everyone wearing a MAGA hat looks really sweaty. And honestly, every picture that they just looked up MAGA hat on Google and people were just wearing them. And literally, I'm not kidding. Like 90% of them did look like they were very sweaty. And like it's so like a weird way they were actually kind of correct. And then somehow they found Dennis Rodman and he looked like it was drenched. It was when he was on CNN and went back in the Korean thing and whatever. But somehow they found this picture of like somebody who did like an NBA character customization for the game of him, and it just looks like it was an abomination. Oh my god, it was so bad. It was so disturbing. Like I'll have to show you it like tomorrow or something. It was just like, oh my god. That was an abomination. Oh, it was just so bad. It was so bad. And I think their title for that episode was literally just a square.
Tofu.
What the hell is that?
Tofu.
Oh, it's tofurkey. We have tofurkey. Okay.
I really don't like tofu. I don't know where it came from.
Well, I mean, it's just tofu flavored. I mean, turkey flavored tofu. So I mean, I guess we could have a try at it. Here's a good drunk question: which dictator would you choose if you had to choose one? Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Good night. Which dictator would you choose if you had to meet if you had to choose one? Probably. You know what? Oh, hold on. God damn, dude. Shit. This is a good question. My impulse wants to say Stalin. But knowing his character and his paranoia and the cult of personality he's like develops in his state, I feel like if I try to like ask him questions and be like, "Hey, man, you know, what brought you to like this? What brought you to this place? You know, what brought you to the state that you needed to be the leader instead of Trotsky? What brought you to solidify this power? Like, I mean, you know, actually, I kind of pick at his brain a bit. You know what I'm saying? Alive only. God damn it. Kim Jong-un. And why? Because I don't think he's, as a person, I don't think he is as like psychotic or deranged as people make him out to be. Like, I think he actually is just like a person, you know, that is just an authoritarian piece of shit, you know, just like most people, but he's on this defensive side of it. So I'm just like, you know, I think he actually would be kind of a chill guy to hang with, as long as I don't like challenge him or whatever. As long as I just kind of am like, hey, like, you know, I know I've heard you like ball, you know, you want to play ball? Your shit? Hey, I play pool. I can show you how to play pool. Do you have a pool table or something, you know? Like I think, you know, on a personal level, Kim Jong-un would actually be pretty chill to hang out with. And also, marijuana is not illegal in North Korea, I found out, so, on a technical level. So I have a feeling Kim Jong-un may have some kush, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we'd be okay on that level. So, you know, I'd probably, you know, bring my bong over and be like, hey, let's play some pool, let's have some kush, you know, let's have some games, let's have some fun, bro. I heard, you know, like, I'll look past, you know, the obvious crimes and atrocities you have done, but, you know, to things, but, you know, and it's just like, let's meet as people, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I would say him. Ying Fu Thong for me, more moderate and low-key. Most dictators probably would have some interesting insights on the Vietnam War and the state of the world. Ah. Yeah, he's definitely low-key as fuck because you don't really hear much about Vietnam too much, besides the repercussions of the Vietnam War, which are very serious things, you know, as well. But, yeah, I can see that. What about any world leader? For any of them alive, of course. For alive, Any of them? You know, God, that's even a better question because that one I honestly really wouldn't know. I like to meet a lot of them. There's a lot I would honestly like to meet, but probably you know, to kind of compliment the Kim Jong Un thing, I kind of want to say Moon Jae-in because I kind of want to hear his, like, on top of just hanging out with Kim Jong Un. I would also like, you know, see what his insight is to like about South Korea and what what he actually wants to see. Because I mean, I know there's like statements from the government there, and I know people make propaganda about what they want to do and shit. So I know there's a lot of weird shit, and I just will, you know, if I ever got a chance to meet the guy, probably never will. But I mean, if that would ever be a thing, it'd be like, you know, what is your insight into this? Like, what are you, like, I know you're trying to keep your own government sovereignty and your nation's sovereignty, but on top of that, like, what are you trying to, like, what else is, you know, going on? You know what I mean? And then I'd like, you know, go to Moon Jae-in, see what his insight is, and hang out with that guy, chill out with him. I'm not to the same extent to Kim, obviously, but, you know, I'd hang out with that guy, you know, see what his insight is about that situation. Because I know he wants to try to cooperate to have peace in that region and wants to be more cooperative with North Korea to try to bring peace to this whole region and try to, I think, you know, maybe in a sense, long term, have a unified Korea, maybe. But I don't know when that might be able to be a plausible situation. But I think, you know, he's open to opening the doors to get that worked in place. So I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting to see that insight. But besides for that situation though, because I mean I only picked him there for just the kind of complimentary thing for Kim, but for just in general though, fuck. See, this is hard because I mean, you know, I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because I'd go to different world leaders and I'd like to, you know, hang out and see insight for different reasons, you know, depending on the world leader. So it's really hard for me to choose, you know, because Moon Jae-in was for a specific reason, but you know, for just any, I mean, like, if I had to like just take kind of politics out of it and just sort of hang out with the person, I'd probably would maybe say, I mean, as much as a goofball Trudeau might seem, I'd probably hang out with him just to hang out with him and shit. You know, have a beer. You know, go out in town, hang out and shit, chill. Probably smoke weed since they got it legal there. You know, so I don't know, but I don't know. Like I'd probably like meet the Prime Minister of Norway maybe. Just to kind of see what their insight is on a lot of various different domestic policies that they've done to basically be like, America could do this, to everyone else. But you know, it's hard for me to choose. That's why Nguyen, Moon Jae-in, Justin Trudeau, Angela Merkel, damn, it's tough to say. I mean, yeah, like I know Angela Merkel grew up in East Germany, so yeah, I mean, I'd like to kind of know about her backstory and just kind of know what her experience was in the Cold War, and you know, kind of hear from her perspective, you know, how she kind of came into politics and shit. So you know, it really is. I don't know. I would choose Trudeau for just hanging out. It seems pretty chill. Yeah, you know, because like that guy, like I feel like him and I on just like on a personal level will be able to click pretty quick, you know, pretty easily and pretty chill. Because I know like he, you know, he does seem a little goofy sometimes. Because I know he will like go to other places and do like a lot of cultural things that they do and like wear the same stuff for events and stuff, which is like whatever for me. But some people kind of look at that and be like, oh, what the fuck. But for me, it's like whatever. I don't care. But you know, some people do kind of see that as goofy, and it can be, you know, if you're wearing like this kind of funny, ridiculous, big garbed robe and shit, and wearing a funky little hat, you know, just for, you know, just to respect you, you know, which is fine, but it's just kind of, to be fair, it is a little goofy looking, but whatever. I'd probably do the same thing just because, you know, I'm not here to be a douchebag. You know, I'm here to provide open up diplomacy and commerce and relations. So I'm if they want me to do this, to show just like, hey, we're on good terms, and I'm like, hey, I'll do it, fine, whatever. But some people see it goofy, some people don't, whatever. It's kind of an arbitrary thing, but I'd hang out with him, have beer at night. Yeah. Should wrap it up soon, but what I want to do is I do actually kind of want to show that little thing I was talking about Project Zomboid earlier, but I don't know if I'll do. Should I do it tonight? Or should I just start doing Let's Plays of that to start with? Because I could do that. Should I? I don't know. I'll think about that. I think that's how I'll do it, but I want to do it fresh off, so it'll be like, alright guys, it's just me and this, nothing else. We're on our own. Let's build it up. Because I'm already kind of built this thing up, so I'd basically have to run down what the fuck happened and then go from there, so. I'm out. Just figured out the answer for homework. Oh shit, nice. Good shizzles. What, did my questions had some relation to do with your homework? Because if it did, that'd be kind of hilarious. That'd be kind of funny if it did. If I helped you out by homework unconventionally. Unconventionally. I said unconditionally or unconventionally. I combined the words to unconventionally. Gonna speak in tongues now. I honestly legit would like to ask, is there like an actual dialect in language or a language in tongues? Is there an actual like dialect to pick out, or is it just something that just comes out or whatever? Because in order to speak a language, there would have to be an actual set dialect, and there would have to be an actual like set kind of written language on it, right? So you're not speaking anything, you're doing gibberish. Because they do say it's like something that comes out as a spirit, or whatever the fuck they say, which makes no sense on the first face of it. And it's just like, really? Excuse me. Language has like set dialect and a set like language. Like, come on. Like that one, like they really can't wiggle themselves out of this one. Like the whole speaking in tongues thing is just absurd. Wow, guy's flying out of here. Puffy gone. You gave him answer for homework. Yeah, dude. I know. It's funny. I love it. I've been wearing these shades the entire time. I think we can release them now, huh? Like, honestly, for a while, I forgot I had them on. Come on. Caught the spirit. Jimmy for him disappeared. Yeah. So he pops in and on, like, for... So I kind of am used to that from him. He usually does that. I love how it just didn't really do much. Alright. Oh, yeah! This is heated. Nice. Mmm. We'll just keep it over there. I'm supposed to say I was mad at him earlier last night. I didn't think you realized when I, though, trying to get mad. I didn't know that. To be honest, any interlinked like chat drama that happens amongst all of the chat, I don't know what happens. So I usually just let that be absolved and resolved amongst y'all. So when it comes to chat drama, leave me out because I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't even really go on Twitter that much anymore, really. I mainly do all the outrage shit. So I literally go on there if I'm like looking for porn or something, or you know, I just check up on like a little bit of politics, say a few things, and leave. That's about it. I'll like delve on for like 30 minutes usually if I'm not there for, you know, for other scrupulous reasons. You know, like if I'm not there, I'm usually on at most like 30 minutes or an hour just looking at stuff, retweeting a few things, liking some stuff, and I'll say a few things, say a few words to people, and positive, agreeing, disagreeing, whatever. And, you know, it depends. And then just leave, come back the next time, respond to people. Usually move on. So he said, "Oh man, go to bed." I don't take that well. That's why. Okay, well, I say that sometimes too, technically. Though I do kind of say it in a somewhat jokingly manner, or at least in a playful way, where I'm not like, like literally like meaning it, but. Technically, you should, but I mean, I can't control what you do, so that's why I don't say anything about it. Because like you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, I can't control that. I didn't say anything. I surprised to realize I didn't care for it. Well, yeah, it's Jimmy. He could be a very interesting character in the first place. He's like, the whole West is burning, and I love it. And to be fair, I do share the same sentiment, but I expand that to the whole world. It's like, oh, the whole world's burning. Fuck it, whatever. It's just like people, like, even when they're trying to push like ideas to go forward with, to try to solve this shit, a lot of this shit. I mean, especially with climate change, a lot of it's just like, the ball's gone and rolled and gone. It's just like, shit. Well, the future is just going to be bleak on that situation. Climate change especially. Money in politics is something that I'm cautiously, skeptically optimistic about, but I'm still really cynical about the situation. Like with wars and shit, I'm just utterly nihilistic about, because the answer is obvious, but yet that just continues to get worse. And we're probably going to, have a war with Venezuela now. And, so, yippee fucking skippy, great. And, we removed the INF treaty, pulled out of that with Russia. So now the nuclear arms race in technical level is back on. Fucking yippee skippy. So basically, Cold War 2.0 is officially started, I would say. I would say the Cold War never really ended. It's just back in full swing again. So I would just say it's the resurrection of the Cold War. Not even a 2.0. It just came back in full swing again. It never left. It's just like, hey, now I'm just back now, bitch. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Such life. Live and learn every day. Well, I mean, on a personal level, yeah, but when it comes to this whole global aspect, I mean, we live, but we don't really learn from it. We just get fucked in the ass every day from that. I try and learn something every day about the world myself. Well, yeah. But usually whenever you learn about the world, unfortunately, it's just bleak. And, I don't even like, coming out so negative about it, but when you just like listen to all these fucking news articles about like, climate, like climate change is causing, more the insect population to start going extinct, and a lot of different species are starting to die down, down to third populations, and they'll all be like extinct by like 2100 or something. And like, certain regions of the world are going to be inhospitable, like, fossil fuel industries, are pushing more pipelines or whatever, and more drilling, offshore drilling is going on, more bailouts for Wall Street and shit. It's just, oh my god. Ugh. Cold War never ended. Of course it didn't. We just didn't recognize the new course it took. Yeah, we never did. It went more into proxy wars instead of nuclear arms race. But now nuclear arms race is back in with it, so now it's really back. Cold War included the space race and nuclear arms race on top of proxy wars. For a while, it just became proxy wars. So now it's just back to nuclear arms race and proxy wars. I don't think a space race is going to happen again. I think a lot of the private industries like SpaceX is probably taking fruit of that advantage. But honestly, when it comes to like space exploration, on a side note, that should be a public and nationalized prospect. I don't, there should be private industries to help, like make the technology. And I don't like SpaceX is very fundamentally great for what we've been doing with their endeavors, but there should just be like a collaborative effort, I would think, like have SpaceX more aligned towards research and development, and NASA does testing and actually does the production and stuff, which SpaceX does really great with doing a lot of the research and development. Because look at the Falcon 9 rockets; those motherfuckers can land them back. They can come back from back after they launch and come back and land and reuse them. Every now and then they'll get a little error, but they hone that shit down, and they don't really get that anymore out of them. But I mean, that shit's that isn't new technology, to be fair, but I mean, the fact they were able to advance that far more and get it honed down into something way better than it was before, and to just make it a far better use, and to make it far more honed down into what it is now, and inevitably in the future getting better and better, that's a positive we should consider, So there's a lot with that. But on the Cold War aspect, it's back in full swing, and I guarantee you a lot of the research and development from these space programs are probably going to be some of it's going to get funneled into military use. So just put that in perspective. So maybe that space race is back too. History piece of self for human Mr. Crisis. Yeah, my parents did too. Back in '60s, feel for the feeling wars won, never really solves that wars probably. Well, all right, I know this is literally something that always gets said every fucking generation of oh, well, this time it's different, but on some level, I do feel like there is a genuine shift in this whole mentality of wars and shit, and how people have just been really complicit in this whole idea. Now people don't want to be involved in this anymore. I mean, I think there is, I just don't know how organized and how strong that will be. So it's just I don't know, man. Shit's fucked. That's just all we know. So, I mean, yeah, I just don't know. Right now, it's just a really complex and fucking insane, situation that we're in. And literally insane, in its definition term. And the fucked up thing is the answer is literally right there. It's pretty much stop doing it. I mean, it should be simple enough, but yeah, it just keeps going. I'll fall further, always be a war. The weapon target range. Well, I'm not. That's why I'm not holistic. I'm very pessimistic because I'm really skeptical about a lot of it. That's why I said on some level, because on that little level is pretty much my optimism trying to come out. And I'm, and that part of me just is, I'm keeping somewhat suppressed because, history does repeat itself. I mean, the Roman Empire fell. Why? imperialism and militarism. What the U.S. empire doing? Imperialism and militarism. Only this time, there's technology and corporatism and nuclear weapons and advancements in technology and shit and all this other shit that's involved in it. But the overall premise, looking a little the same. I mean, that's just a big, historical thing. But back then, Roman Empire was the big boy of the time. Then that crumbled. Right now, we're the big boy of the time. And there's been countless of other nations trying to be the big boy, the world superpower. Many have tried and failed. And the Soviet Union almost did with us. Then we came out on top. And now China, Russia, Israel, and, I would even probably say the UK to some extent, and maybe even France to some micro level is too, to some level. And Israel too. I don't want to exclude them. So they're all trying to be this whole big world superpower and big boys. They're all competing covertly against each other, while at the same time being complicit with each other. It's a fucked up world politics. Believe it or not, I was your age a long time ago. How could I not believe that you were my age at one point? Of course you were. I mean, yeah. You had to be 21 in order to be 60, or however old. So... eventually, I'll be like 50-something. And then I'll be like, well, I was your age at one point, believe it or not. But, yeah. You guys, kind of a funny little joke, though. Because we kind of do forget that, for people's perspectives of time and history are different. Because some people were born in, like, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And some people were born in the 90s and, like, the early 2000s and shit. So, just depends on people's perspectives. I was born after the heat of all that Cold War and while it subsided, but I lived in the Bush administration and I lived through Obama's administration. And I know all too well about how those administrations were fucking atrocious. 29 internet age. Touche, yeah. If you want to take the internet's age. I don't know how old I would be on the internet's age because I've kind of been off and on the internet, but never really fully been in it until like 2007, 2006, somewhere around there. I would say probably more aligned towards like 2008 is when it's definitely. And it was mainly just watching random videos on YouTube, and that was pretty much it. And I had my very first channel then. But there was just nothing really on it. Imagine you're like me 40 years, maybe telling 21 years, same thing. Well, not like, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what my 40-year-old self's gonna be doing and saying or whatever. I'll probably be doing the same shit like this and to some extent. But, it would just, I don't know what my philosophy or what my perspective would be by that time. I don't even know what the fuck I'd be doing then. That's just like way too far to even for me to comprehend right now. Like, I can comprehend like the next, like 5 years. The next 10 years is really questionable. Beyond that, I just don't know. Ugh. Oh, there it is. I was like, what the fuck is my weed? But I'll have this last. You know what? Let's finish this. It's not that much left. I don't. Well, actually, it's a little more than I thought. But you know what? This looks beautiful. Look at it. Look at all those little bubbles. Yeah, little fuzzies. That actually looks kind of trippy, dude. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, bro. Whoa, bro. Whoa, that's kind of cool. What's going on there? Dissipated, dude. This is why I'm a stoner degenerate. No one should take me this seriously.
So, with the Senate, switching gears here, the vote on
I gotta be up at 3:30 this morning, so I better go to sleep tonight. I'd recommend having that alarm set for 7:30, and then just like have another one by 8, and then have one by 8:15, and then have one by 8:30. So you'll have like 4 alarms, so you can time it out. So you can kind of be like in bed a little bit, still be kind of comfy, get yourself time to wake up a little bit, kind of get ready, plan yourself up a little bit, and then by that 4th one, you'd be like, it's 8:30, time to do this. Boom, let's do it. But that's usually when I have to like plan for that type of shit, especially when I have to get up early. That's how I do it. I try to like plan these sets of alarms, and then I'm just like, okay, 1, I'll sit here for a bit. Another one, all right, okay. What do I gotta do today? All right, yeah. All right. All right, shut the fuck up. Okay. All right. Now I gotta like get my clothes there, get my man, grab some. All right, shut up. Go time. You know, it's like that. Do it. And then take a fat nap afterwards and wake up and have a hearty meal. Hell yeah. People like look negative on the idea of taking a nap in the middle of the day, and I'm just like, dude, taking a nap in the middle of the day is amazing. Amazing! Because it's just, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, sometimes your energy levels are just a little depleted. You just need that little extra little, like, 20-minute, hour, whatever, power nap, you know, to get your energy levels back up. You know what I'm saying? People look down on that. Even people, like, look down on people, like, sleep in late and then are, like, you know, the night people. I'm not gonna lie. I would consider myself a part of the night people. And I'm just like, ugh, what the fuck? The night people. So it's just like, alright. Well, fuck you guys, because it's like, it's not wrong for being night people. This people is as important. Society wouldn't continue without us night peoples. And yet you shit all over us. Why do you think there's a night crew? Motherfuckers. Because he wasn't democratically elected, you dumb fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Vuvuzela. Vuvuzela. Vuvuzelas. Vuvuzela. 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 Maduro. Vuvuzela. Venezuela. Doesn't work anymore, you dumb bitch. The Vuvuzela argument doesn't work anymore. You can make a question whether it was like a legitimate election, but it was still an election. It was still democratically elected. But guess what? We do democratic elections, and yet they're fucking corrupt and malicious as fuck too. So before we start calling out the corruption of Maduro's elections or whatever, how about we start calling our own? Oh no.